Concern about Javonte. We've been concerned about Javonte for a while now. And there's a big difference between Javonte Williams and Breece Hall. And I know a lot of people struggle to accept that when we talk about it. But there is a huge difference between Javonte and Breece Hall. And we're going to talk about why we're now once again concerned after one report says he's going to be on the PUP to start the season. That's early on in the season, or the offseason. Then later on we heard he could be ready for week one. Now we're hearing more concern again. And this man, Tom Brady, just like we talked about, there would be a little wave of information kind of coming in as this man decides maybe he's not going to step away from the game. I know this is just potential speculation and rumors, but we're already feeling like this guy could potentially return. And I do truly believe at the end of the day, this guy's on a football team. Not to start week one necessarily. We're talking like maybe week 9, week 10, when a team gets an injury and they call him up. And you think Tom Brady's not wavering for playing for the Miami Dolphins if Tua Tagovailoa can't stay upright? I don't think so. The Fantasy Football Show, all this and more, your phone calls, everything begins right now.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
What is up, everybody? My name is Smitty. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show. Very excited to have you here like every single Monday through Friday. We do it live at 7 p.m. Eastern. Appreciate Michael K. CPA being first in the building. We've got Cactus Jack in the building. We've got Hod in here. We've got Bella Check Yourself, Hector, TMT. TMT, what's up, my guy? Appreciate you all being here. File on in. Hit that thumb button on your hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. Tom Brady. We'll get to that in a minute. I love it because you know how many people get so mad at me when I bring up Tom Brady? He's not coming back, Smitty. He's not coming back. Why are you breaking? They get so mad. People get so mad. He's not coming back, Smitty. Stop it. Stop it. Why are people so sure about one side of that? I'm not absolute sure about my side. How are you so sure about your side? It's ridiculous. You have no idea. You don't. This guy retired before, came back within a month. He also just retired on the beach after staying up all night long, and he's sitting there by himself. You know, totally just doing this like random retirement again. Don't give me this guy's retired for sure. No one knows. We'll get to that in a second. Javonte Williams. This is a concern. Okay, this is a concern because this is kind of like, we could see it, the writing on the wall, that he was not necessarily ahead of schedule. And there were a lot of reports early on in the offseason that suggested he could start the year on the PUP. They didn't know where he was at in his rehabilitation from his ACL tear. And he had more than just the ACL tear. It was not a clean ACL tear. It was a MCL and LCL injury. And so he's got a whole lot more that could go wrong with his injury, his LCL. So this is what was said on it. GM George Patton said Javonte Williams ACL will be back this season at some point, but doesn't know when. That is a stark difference from, oh, he'll be ready for camp, or oh, he'll be ready for week one, or he's projected to be ready for week one. This either indicates there's some sort of setback that they aren't really reporting on yet, or he's just being very cautious, which is possible. But if he's being cautious, that means he's not hearing a ton of like really positive ahead of schedule type stuff. And what have I told you guys when it comes to ACL tears? A good rule of thumb is to stay away from returning ACL injuries unless there is ample evidence that the player is very, very much ahead of schedule. So that makes it difficult for people to believe in Breece Hall, but Breece Hall is a very different running back. If I was biasly in favor of just the guys I pumped up, you know, like Javonte, get Breece, get Breece. If I was some totally biased analyst, I would be on top of Javonte and Breece Hall in a similar fashion. because we pumped up Javonte higher than anybody known to man on YouTube or anywhere, period. There was no guy on a stranded island from a plane crash that was higher on Javonte than me, let alone somebody that was on mainland cranking out YouTube videos. I was the highest on Javonte. If anybody's going to biasly dive into this and go, hey, he'll be fine, don't worry about it, it would be me. But I'm being real with you. Adjust and adapt season. Always be objective. Always be as free of bias as possible. And every ACL injury is different. One is different than the other. When it comes to Javonte, the two different knee injuries, the fact that he doesn't feel ahead of schedule, he feels at best on schedule or a little behind, and very much a fear now with this comment, which could be blown out of proportion or out of context, but this comment right here suggests that he's not ahead of schedule. If you're not ahead of schedule, then you are in trouble. If you're not ahead of schedule, you are not going to be very good your first year back from an ACL tear. Look at Saquon Barkley. The writing was on the wall, and I told everyone to avoid Barkley because he wasn't ready. When you're not ready and you're shoved out onto the field, you get compensation injuries. You get hamstring injuries. If you're ready, which J.K. Dobbins and Saquon Barkley were not ready for their week 1 appearances coming off their ACL tear, you were absolutely going to be in trouble. Never. Small JP run stock going to rise. It could love stars, but the problem with this right here is that if this is coming out now, that means the Broncos are going to probably act upon it. So you're right at the current moment. Samaje Perine has a lot of sneaky good value. But with the doubt surrounding Javonte's return for a week 1, that will have Sean Payton on high alert to pull in a Sean Tucker, a Tank Bigsby. I keep telling you guys, Sean Tucker is going to continue to wear orange coming out of college. That could be this orange and blue right here. It could be a Bengal orange. I see Sean Tucker wearing orange. I don't know why. Maybe because he did. I don't know. But Sean Tucker, Tank Bigsby, Kendre Miller. These are all very big threats to Javonte because they're really underrated running backs. Not to mention if they go Charbonnet or some kind of crazy move, which would be devastating, not just for Javonte, but, we don't want Javonte being the Melvin Gordon of the Zach Charbonnet, if you know what I'm saying. Kind of confusing, but boy, we don't want Javonte in that position. It sucks, guys. This was an absolute monster in the making, and there's nothing we can do to prove that we would have been right. We can only adjust and adapt and move on. I'm not saying I'm giving up on Javonte. If he's sitting there in a best ball draft in round 9, I'm taking him. But I'm certainly not comfortable with where his ADP was climbing, which was like round 5 or 6. That is way too early because I told you months and months ago, this does not feel like it's heading in the right direction like Breece Hall's is, and he's kind of an avoid. And I don't feel good about this situation. I don't feel good about it. I haven't felt good about it. I've made it abundantly clear that this does not feel Breece Hall-like. And a lot of people are going to come in here and say the blanket statement, because they're not using logic, that, Schmitty, you've got to stay away from Breece Hall too. No, we don't. We don't have to, and we won't, because everything we're hearing with Breece is he's ahead of schedule. It's all about being ahead of schedule or behind schedule. It's all about how old you are, because Breece Hall at 21 years old is going through a lightning recovery process. His body's rebuilding just this thing inside his knee, just restructuring this thing at a rapid pace. All those little neurons everywhere just hard at work like we are. They're hitting the like button. You're hitting the like button. We got 25 people in the or if 100 people in the building and only 25 thumbs up. Those are rookie numbers. Punch the thumb up button for your boy Smitty. James C says Perine. Yeah, Perine played pretty good. Oh, that's not the comment right here. Perine. Yeah, look him up, bro. Perine had a really good season. He's older though, so I think that Sean Payton's going to prepare and draft another RB. What about Pollard injury? What's his status? Pollard's totally feeling like, and that's not an ACL, so we're not super worried about that, but Pollard's been thought to be 100%, ahead of schedule. We're not even worried or concerned about that. Javonte, we are. Javonte is a big, big, big problem. And it sucks, but you have to adjust and adapt. You can't just hang on to old predictions, dig your heels in again, and go through the song and dance again and be wrong twice. Because at the end of the day, as much as we knew he would be amazing, and he would have been magnificent. And I'm not saying he can't return at some point. But as much as we believed in this guy and still kind of do, right? We can't just dig in and say, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. We'll be fine. I want to appreciate that YouTube member. Becoming a YouTube member. Giddy up. If you want to be a YouTube member as well, just like that gentleman did, here it is. You just go right on over to the YouTube exclusive memberships. I'll drop the link right now. That's how you do it. That's how you become a boss on the channel. Get the green emoji. Get all of those amazing perks that a YouTube exclusive member gets. Okay? And can we drop a couple of the new emojis, please? The new emojis that we have. Let me get in there and I will drop a couple of them myself. We've got the new emojis. Let me pin the link. Pin the link for the YouTube exclusive membership. Here's the link. I'll pin it. That's how you become a YouTube exclusive member. Here are the new emojis. If you don't know, boom. This one. This is Chris Olave. And the next new emoji would be, where is it? Oh, Charbonnet. Get Charbonnet. They're the two new YouTube exclusive emojis. Drop them. Javonte. We'll take phone calls on Javonte. A lot of people are going to say, why you like Breece Hall if you don't like Javonte? We're going to hear that over and over. I got to repeat myself, but that's okay. I work for you. You want me to repeat myself? I'll repeat myself. But Javonte and Breece Hall are miles apart in terms of their recoveries, in terms of their types of injuries, in terms of everything that's going on. Breece Hall is going to absolutely become 8 foot tall.
Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Breece.
He does a hull of a job.
Breece Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hell of a job.
Get Charbonnet. Pop open a nice bottle of Charbonnet.
Look, Zach Charbonnet is going to be an absolute monster. I can't wait for that. Tom Brady news. Tom Brady news. Already. Little Tom Brady's already back in the news. Look at this right here. Asked about coming out of retirement and playing for the Dolphins at a conference, Tom Brady did not directly answer the question. What he actually said was, I will say now. Hold on, let me repeat this. Tom Brady, you gonna come back and play for the Dolphins? Just out of that one question. This is Smitty from the Take a Lap Times. Are you coming back to play football for the Dolphins, big boy? Are you? Hold on. Tom Brady. I will say now that I'm not affiliated with any team anymore. Even though I have strong ties with a couple teams, I do have some friends on the Dolphins that I really like. So I wouldn't say I necessarily root for them all the time. But I root for my friends to do well. And several of them play for Miami. If that's not the weirdest dance around a question I've ever heard in my life, I don't know what is. Tom Brady is coming back, is what that tells me. I don't know when, but if Tua Tagovailoa, we're praying for him. I hope he stays upright. But if Tua Tagovailoa can't stay upright, and I love Mike White, I'm rooting for him too. Brady's getting the call like predicted all off-season long. If Breece Hall can answer the call, so can Thomas Brady. And if anybody thinks Tom Brady's washed, just wait. Just wait. I'm not saying he's still got all the same skills, but just wait. Just wait, because if you're handed Tyreek Hill and Waddle in this Miami Mike system, it doesn't matter if you've lost 2/10 of your skills. This guy's coming out at even 80% of his old self, coming out and just tossing dimes all over the field. Here, Tyreek, take that. Waddle, here you go. Who am I? Zach Wilson Jr., not the best running back in the world, looks like an absolute phenom in this offense. Or Jeff Wilson. Did I say Zach Wilson? Zach Wilson. Doesn't even matter who it is. It could be Zach Wilson. They could trade for Zach Wilson from the New York Jets. Put him in at running back. He'd be a phenomenal top 10 running back in this offense. Anybody would be. Jeff Wilson, whatever. Jeff Wilson. This running crew, Mostert and Wilson, is kind of underrated. It is. It really is. I mean, look for Dalvin Cook to enter the equation too, because if Dalvin Cook, who is rumored to be potentially linked to some trade rumors and trade talks, imagine if Dalvin Cook ends up a Miami Dolphin. Chat is so dumb. Brady on the Dolphins would have top 6 to 10 production. Don't call the chat dumb, Neil. Don't call the chat dumb. That's not nice. Brady could still be the most accurate QB in the NFL. In this situation, 100%. I'm tired of Brady rumors. Caden, get your popcorn ready, because I don't think they're subsiding anytime soon. Okay, so Brady, there's not much to talk about this other than we knew it wasn't going to go away. I knew it wasn't going to go away, and whatever. People could... I didn't care. I didn't care if people were going to say, Brady's done, bro. I don't know what it is about people that want to say Brady's done as if you know it all. As if you have any sort of inside track on whether Brady's going to return or not. Because I certainly don't have an inside track on that he will, but I'm open-minded that he doesn't come back. But my prediction and projection is he does come back. We do have a little bit on our side, those of us. By the way, Kawhi Leonard is out for the game tonight. Suns are going to destroy the Clippers. Can't wait for this game. Suns are going to lambaste the Clippers tonight. Suns are going to win it all this year. Finally break free from this ridiculous curse that we have. Brady's wash. Lloyd, call in. Not so I can argue with you in a bad way, in a good way, a positive, productive way. I want an anti-Brady person to call in and argue effectively as to why Brady can't do well in this offense and situation. Please, somebody dial in to the show and have this conversation with me, because it's very, very odd how, here's the number, how many people say he's not coming back, and they say it with this straight face, like they know, like they understand the situation better than you. Nobody knows. And things got to line up perfectly. Brady can't just he's not just going to walk into the Dolphins and take Tua's job. Like, Tua would have to be out for the season. There are a lot of things that have to go down, right? But it's certainly in the cards. And I just would love an anti-Brady person to call up and spit logic at all, because there's not much you can say. I need a championship finally. I need the championship finally. Appreciate you, Caden. Go Suns. Caden to the moon. Caden knows what's up. Caden knows what's up. What other super chats do I have here? I think I've got one or two more that I've got to... Thank you all for dropping those. Appreciate you. Tom Brady to the Fins, baby. Let's make it happen. Says Matthew. Couldn't agree more, broski. I just hate Tom Brady 12. That's pretty much what it is. Like, if someone's bold enough to call in, this is what it's going to come down to. Brady is too inefficient. Quick release, good reads, still good range. It's just too efficient. Sorry, too efficient. And I love that people think that Brady fell off this last year when there was a lot going on. There's the Miami Dolphin, the Tampa Bay offensive line is totally destroyed and dismantled and injured, and you know, he was just getting he was just throwing the ball away, trying not to get leveled. I would love to see a good argument, a good anti argument. Stop dodging, Smitty. Stop dodging what, Niner Rick? This is my show. Why would I dodge something on my own show? I don't even know what you're talking about. Call in. How am I dodging you? My phone number is on the freaking screen, Niner Rick. Who's dodging who? How am I possibly dodging you? Dial into my show, Niner Rick. Goodness gracious, bro. I mean, really. Unbelievable. Some of the comments sometimes that get thrown at dodging. Why would I dodge you, Niner Rick? What? So you could say that you're going to get Dalvin Cook on the Niners. The Niners are going to trade for Tom Brady. Niners are going to have this. Niners are going to have that. They're drafting Bijan. What am I dodging? Your ridiculous theory about what the Niners are going to do next? I mean, we know you're just going to... That's probably Tom Brady. You probably think you're getting Tom Brady. You're getting Aaron Rodgers. You're getting whoever. Good God, bro. Phone number's on the screen. Let's see if this is Niner Rick. Is this Niner Rick? Hello? Yeah, that's what I thought. You gotta talk? It's gonna mouth breathe into the phone, bro? Later. Unbelievable. Smitty can dodge a wrench. Bro, you can't come in here and Niner Rick own me in my own home. Like, try it. You're live here on the Fantasy Football Show, Kenny. Hi, Kenny.
Hey, what's up, Smitty?
What's up?
I was just calling. I'm a big Brady fan, but I was calling just you wanted like just a little argument about do you think maybe that Tom Brady's failures last year had something to do with Bruce Arians not using Bruce Arians' offense?
I think I know what you're trying to ask. You're saying, like, so first of all, I think a lot of people are going to assume, like, the Tom Brady haters out there saying he's not coming back. He's not coming back, Smitty. He's done. He looked awful. These are either Tom Brady haters that hate Tom Brady anyway, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hates Tom Brady. They hate Tom Brady anyway. They're just rooting against him. Or B, they're assessing his situation in the same ways that everybody's assessed bad situations he's been in and predicted his downfall. Remember when Tom Brady was not going to play well coming into the Tampa Bay situation? He was washed, a lot of people thought. So bad that Niner Rick, who is saying that I'm dodging him for some reason, his own coach, his own beautiful, amazing coach named Kyle Shanahan, passed on Tom Brady because he was only marginally better than Jimmy Garoppolo. This is the same Niner Rick that thinks that Tom Brady's on his way to the Niners, which he could. And I'd have that conversation if Niner Rick would call and stop dodging me, because that is a possibility. It is, and I've said it for a long time. So Niner Rick, you must have been listening to my show, remembering what I told you, and now you think it's your idea, and you think I'm dodging you on my own topic, Niner Rick. But people thought Tom Brady was washed a bunch of different times during his career. And the Bucs offensive line was shredded to pieces last year. Tom Brady didn't have a chance. And I think part of why Tom Brady stepped away is he didn't want to play for the Bucs, for one. Two, he did want to step away for legitimate family reasons. But I think what people don't understand about guys like Tom Brady, guys that are, he's like an entrepreneur in a way. Like, your boy's an entrepreneur. I couldn't step away and not work and do anything. And Tom Brady is the same way. Professional athletes are the same way. They've worked for themselves in a way. And these guys that think they're going to step away and retire, like Tom Brady, when he first retired, he stepped away and started doing dishes, bro. I guarantee you, he was sitting there washing dishes going, what did I do? What did I do? This is not for me. He retired for Giselle. He didn't retire for himself. And you can never retire for other people. It will never hold. And I'm not saying he retired for other people, like just his kids. I think he legitimately retired because he didn't feel he could win. He didn't want to go down the way he went down. He wasn't sure what the future held for him. He wanted to spend more time with his kids. This is me speculating. And now that he's spending time with his kids, I think he's realizing that he could come back. His kids could come with him. They could come to games. Like, I think he's realizing that if his kids are pushing for him to do it, Dad, do it, come back for one more year. He's bonding with his kids differently. He's got a whole different situation than he did in the past. Like, coming into week 10 or 9 and playing for the Dolphins wouldn't be a big deal. His kids would probably enjoy it. He would probably enjoy it with his kid. It would probably be something completely different than it would be if he came back and he went through camp and he went through a whole season. He was gone for a whole year like that. You're talking about a very short time frame. Like, you're talking about if he comes back in like November, I don't know what the deadline would be for him to even, if he was to come back in November and December and January, bro, that's 3 months. That is 3 months of football. You think his kids are going to, oh, Dad's back at his old habits. That's 3 months of football. If he gets a phone call from Miami Mike and says, hey, we need you, you think he's going to say no because of 3 months of football? He's going to come back, win a championship with another team, add to his legacy, hold up another ring. Everybody's going to laugh at all the people that said he wouldn't come back. It doesn't, I don't understand why people are so hell-bent against it. It is all Tom Brady hate. Anybody that doesn't see this at least as an option, it's all Tom Brady hate because there's a possible path for it. And it's not like everybody keeps saying he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play football in August. He doesn't want to play football in September. He doesn't want to play football maybe in October. Maybe he does. But November, December, January, give him 3 months. Who wouldn't do that for 3 months? Get paid a little extra. Get ready. He's going into the booth, bro. So this will be, he's never felt the pressure before of, okay, now you really are retiring. Like, he's being forced to retire because he's got a job awaiting him. Why did he leave a full year of nothing to do? Partially probably to spend time with his family. Just give a little injection of Tom Brady fatherhood just in his kids' lives. I mean, just put everything aside, be a father, and he did that, and he's doing that. And I don't think it's impossible to do that for 3 months and not still spend time with your kids, and he's learning that, I believe.
Yeah, I'm excited. If he did go to the Dolphins, I just feel like he would use Jalen Waddle the way he used Edelman and Welker, and I think Jalen Waddle could outperform Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill would still get his, obviously, but I think he would bring out the absolute best in Jalen Waddle and what he can do to a defense. Yeah.
Hey, real quickly, hang tight right there for me, Kenny, and if you got anything else, definitely bring it up. Let me just read these super chats real quick. We got Neil with a $10 hauler. Neil, appreciate you. To the moon, pal. To the moon. All $10 haulers get a moonshot. Neil says, Tom Brady lost AB, Gronk, Julio, hurt all season, Godwin off a torn ACL, worst run game in NFL history, and lost 3 starting offensive linemen. Still a productive season. Anyone who says he's washed is a casual. Exactly, bro. Absolute casual. And that's true. I mean, could he fall off during the season that he comes back? Sure. Like, we can't anticipate that. Niner Rick, if you're calling in on an anonymous number, dial in, bro. Not that way. I don't answer anonymous calls. So, Niner Rick, if you're trying to get in here, dial in. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, this sums it up perfectly. Like, anybody that says he's washed, it literally is casual. It's a casual person to not understand everything. And I've mapped this out before, but Neil mapped it out even better. It's like all the injuries that were going on, everything that was the wide receivers weren't even like there at the beginning of the year. Tom Brady took off a part of August, which he shouldn't have done. It was his fault, but all that triggered a very bad season. And only a casual would say they know that Tom Brady's done. Yeah. Niner Rick, we're still waiting for you, pal.
he was going through a divorce. I mean, most guys, if their girlfriend break up with them, they wouldn't even be able to go to work the next day. So like,
Yeah.
that's a lot to have on your mind while you're trying to play professional football.
Yeah. Steve, thank you for the $10 hauler. Smitty, any smart person should bet. Oh, Kenny hung up. Kenny, you could have stayed on, bro. Spot on, Smitty. Any smart person should bet on Brady playing in 2024 with the Finns. I would say this 2023. I don't know if you mean 2023, but he's going to go to the booth in 2024. And the Niners situation, this league changes daily. 3 chips, 3 different teams as a QB could never be matched. I think that's partly what he's going to be, looking at here. Part of him is thinking to himself, like, I could add another just part of my legacy that no one can beat. Excuses, Brady pity party. Here's a Brady hater for you. But, hey, bro, it's okay if you don't like Brady. We still appreciate you. We still don't mind you being here. But that's clearly a Brady hater comment. I mean, come on, bro. Niner Rick, nobody's dodging, shaking my head. Hey, rock out. Appreciate you for the super chat, pal. That's fire. You're on the line.
Yeah, so I'm a Pats fan, and I watched Brady last season. I think that offense had a lot of trouble that was unrelated to Brady. I think Brady could totally come back and make an NFL team better. I don't know who this hater is out there, but Brady looks fine. Like, if anything, it was just he didn't have any protection. His O-line sucked. So I think Brady would be fine another year.
Like said by Neil. Neil's super chat was phenomenally put. Like, if anybody that says, oh, Brady looked bad last year, casual, total casual. Brady looked bad. He wasn't the same. Casual. Like, you don't, maybe he will drop off. Maybe he comes back and looks bad. Like, that could happen because at any point when a 45-year-old man walks onto the field to play football, he could break down very quickly. Like, we're all kind of on pins and needles and biting our fingernails, when we're expecting Brady to have one more year. Like, we got to be honest, too. That's an honest take. But to look at 2022 and say, oh, he's done, casual.
Sounds like someone who's just a fan of a team that got beat down by Brady in a Super Bowl, probably.
Yeah, or a fan of just hating Brady. And Sam even forgot about the divorce. Or Sam says that Neil even forgot about the divorce when he spit in facts a minute ago. What's up, Kilpatrick? Brady is still the first half of his NFL career. Brady is still in the first half of his NFL career, bro. Let me. I think it was 2000. God, I don't know what the date was, what year it was. It was the year that Peyton Manning was a Bronco, and he was absolute fire still. Does anybody remember what year that was? Peyton Manning was a Bronco. He was still very good.
Might have been 2013 or 2014.
Yeah,
I think 2015 was when he fell off.
That sounds right about right. I remember my buddy, I tried to trade him Tom Brady. I had 2 quarterbacks in my buddy league, my longtime buddy league, and this guy was an officer. And I remember calling him up, and I was like, bro, I got an extra quarterback. I'll send you Tom Brady. He goes, this is Tom Brady's final year, bro. I don't want anything to do with him. This is 2013 or 14. It's 2023, 10 years later. 10 years later, like, people have been calling for Tom Brady's decline since the beginning of time. 10 years ago. I couldn't trade him because he was falling off. Do I think he's an absolute monster in Tampa Bay if he came back? No. But do I think he goes to Miami, becomes a top 5 or 6 quarterback? I do. Because Tua Tagovailoa was a top 5 or 6 quarterback in Miami. If anybody thinks Tom Brady's not better than Tua right now, right here and right now, they're crazy. Casual.
I guess I'd push back on the notion that I think Brady could be a top 5 or 6 fantasy quarterback anymore. I mean, Miami's got great weapons. I don't like football wise. They'd win a lot of games.
This is awkward. I just called him a casual then.
But I don't know if the fantasy production for Brady would be as good as it has in the past. That'll say.
Well,
I don't know if you feel
well,
the same
no,
way.
I mean, I feel awkward right now because I guess called you a casual. Because I just said anybody doesn't think he'd be a top 6 quarterback casual. I guess I'll push back on that. Shit. This is awkward. Look, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, bro, look what Tua Tagovailoa just did. If you think Tom Brady can't come in and repeat what Tua just did, like, and I'm not saying Tua didn't prove us wrong in some ways, prove me wrong in some ways, because I didn't expect him to be this good in Miami Mike's system. I still think if you take Tua and transplant him anywhere else, bro, anywhere else, he doesn't do well. Like maybe he goes to the Niners and he does well, you know. But you take an ironically Miami Mike, Shanahan system. As much as I rip on Shanahan, his system's amazing. You take Tua and put him anywhere else, he's not gonna look like Tua Tagovailoa from the Miami Dolphins situation at all. So Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, he's not a top 5 or 6 fantasy quarterback. That would be a casual statement. But you put him in Miami, bro, how is he not going to be a top 6 quarterback? Walk me through this.
I think it would stem from the O-line. Like, Brady at this point, I think, needs a really elite O-line because let's just be real. Like, to have great fantasy production, you either have to have a top 5 O-line in front of you if you're a pocket passer. Like, he does have the weapons, and I guess your point of, like, Joe Burrow getting Jamar Chase or Justin Fields getting DJ Moore, where it spreads the field, is valid. But I still worry, like, from a 45-year-old being behind a subpar O-line.
Yeah, but are they that subpar? I mean, like, the way they could spread the field out, Tom Brady's quicker release. Like, I mean, I know Tua's got some good skills. I mean, some say he's very accurate. I agree with that in some respect, and I feel like I was wrong judging some of Tua's skill sets, but because he was able to do well. But I think that the Miami Dolphins, to assume that they wouldn't have a little bit better offensive line production with Tom Brady back there, number one. Number two, to assume they wouldn't just focus on that the entire offseason in the draft, the remainder of the offseason in the draft through a trade. Miami Mike is one of the most aggressive coaches in the National Football League. Like, they still might address that. I'm not saying they're getting Brady now and then they're going to start addressing and building around Brady. Brady would come in at the end of the season. Not to mention, like, you know, we're gonna have time to see if that O-line looks okay. You know, there's a possibility that this team is in shambles and Brady's not going to return. There's that possibility too. You know, what if Tua stays upright but looks like garbage or something? So we don't really know. We don't really know what's going to happen. I'm not saying he's coming back for sure. I'm just saying for people to say he's not coming back, it's ridiculous. You don't know. You don't know. This guy retired. Bro, his retirement on the beach looked like he was up all night long and he had this weird, you know, you have those ideas you have at 3 a.m. You haven't slept yet. You're like, tomorrow I'm writing the letter. Tomorrow I'm sending the text. You know, tomorrow I'm going to tell so-and-so what I think of him. And then you do it. And you do it before you go to bed. You do it at 5 a.m. You wait up. You don't even go to bed yet. You wait up until it's time. The sun comes up. You're like, I'm doing it. I've been thinking about it all night. Tom Brady retired in that light, bro. He did not get up bright and early, know what he wanted to do. This is a man that made a rash decision again to walk away. And you can't blame him. Every GOAT struggles to retire. Every GOAT struggles to retire, but Barry Sanders. Somehow I don't know how he didn't come back at any point, but
you're not going to hear any complaining from me because we're talking about the guy who took my franchise from the poverty team into one of the best franchises in the NFL. So I love Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Nothing but
I don't know how somebody can at least appreciate him if they hate him. Dial in if anybody wants to jump on the phone.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Smitty, I have a question unrelated to Brady. If you're ready.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if you could pull up stat lines from the last, few years, Tyler Lockett's going in the 8th round, And this guy is a 1,000-yard receiver for the last 4 years and didn't suffer at all switching from Russell Wilson to Geno Smith. I like Tyler Lockett a lot this year. I'm interested to hear. Like, in the 8th round, you're not looking for a guy who's going to play hero ball for you, but Tyler Lockett was consistent last year. He averaged 14.8 points a game, and he's a guy who could save your flex spot long-term over the season, I think.
So with Tyler Lockett, I have a couple things come to mind when I think of Tyler Lockett, when I look at Tyler Lockett. Number one, I mean, you're right. He's been that guy that's been very kind of like Adam Thielen, just kind of was solid, and people keep doubting him year over year. He's, he kind of proves people wrong, but he's played a handful of years. He's already 30 years old. When does he turn 31? He turns 31, I believe. Let me see. Turns 31 in September. So he turns 31 in September, and wide receivers tend to drop off around 31, 32, 33. It's never an exact science. It means he could have one more year, and then he starts to drop off. He's had, I don't know, but when you watch this guy play, look at his targets. Targets 132, 107, 117 the last 3 years. Very, very good. A lot depends on what they do. Do they go after another wide receiver in the draft? Do they go get Anthony Richardson, which a lot of people think could happen, which would be amazing. My sense when I watch him, bro, is that to be honest with you, I don't know when that last year is. I don't know if that last year was last year or if that last year is going to be this coming year, but I feel like we're right there. And the problem with those players is I don't like being holding the bag. And so I think I just look around and I see players I like better usually, and I just end up not owning him. It's not that I'm against him. It's not that I'm doubting him too much right now for having that one more final year. But I feel like if they draft, say Flowers, or they get in a later round, they pick up the 4th or 5th or 6th ranked wide receiver. They bring in a guy like that, then I think there's a lot to be concerned about. But the one thing I noticed with this guy when you watch him on the field is he never gets tackled. Some will say that's very smart, and I agree. But he never gets tackled. He always runs out of bounds or he falls down. Like, it's crazy. You watch him, it's crazy. You think, oh yeah, he's just being smart, Smitty. He's just being smart, avoiding a hit. But it's beyond that. It's almost like, when you're playing in a video game and you got like 1% left. I don't know if anybody plays Fortnite or whatever, and you got 1% left. You're running around. You can't get one more hit, and you're done. It feels like he's playing on that, and it for some reason bothers me because the dude will not get hit even by a small defensive back. He'll see a guy coming and he'll just fall down, and it just worries me. Like, I don't know that he's gonna be able to. I don't know. It just makes me feel like he's at his end. He's just squeezing out one more year every single time he hits the field. That's what I worry about with Lockett. I feel like it's going to be Tyler. It's going to be Adam Thielen. I feel like it's going to be one of those days where he just vanishes, and I don't really want to own him. If where were you say you were grabbing Lockett? What round?
Lockett's consistently going in the 8th, so it's ADP and underdog, which is, let's be honest, accurate ADP. And with DK grabbing double coverage, I think Lockett ekes out another 1,000-yard season. I mean, he's getting 8 to 10 touchdowns for the last 4 years. And if the regression comes, I'm comfortable holding the bag there. At the 8th round, I'm comfortable enough to take Lockett over Tony. Like, I feel like Lockett's production's so solid, and he's getting so many targets that. Yeah, I mean, you could bet on his downfall, but I'm just so comfortable taking him there because even if he busts.
I'm not going to tell anybody to avoid him because I'm predicting a bust. I want to make it very clear. I just find, like, if I'm in the 8th round and I see, like in best ball, Kamara sitting there, even though he could miss 4 to 6 games guaranteed almost, it feels like, and Lockett could play a full season. Like, it's kind of almost like a reverse logic. But I just feel like, you know what? I don't know that I'm starting Lockett. I think I'm doing my very best to have a London in my flex spot, like if I'm going heavy wide receiver. Or I'm okay with a Sky Moore there to beef up, my running back position or something. I'm just willing to sacrifice Lockett as my 3rd wide receiver. I'd rather go 100 different directions than that, personally, because I don't know. Part of it, he's the number 2 on his team. Part of it is I still don't know how much I believe in Geno. I know that's crazy given what Geno just did, but part of me just doesn't love investing in the number 2 wide receiver on the team that is 30 years old, about to turn 31, that refuses to take a hit. Not just smartly, he refuses to take a hit. Watch a Tyler Lockett game, and you'll say to yourself, Smitty thinks this guy doesn't... Wait a minute. Wow. Oh, my God. He just jumped under the ground. He does that thing where he catches the ball, there's 2 defenders, and he goes, and he literally just lays out like he's jumping into a pool on a raft. And it's like, I don't know what it is, but I just feel like the drop-off's coming at some point. I don't want to be a part of it, but I'm not going to call him a bust.
I think I just feel comfortable holding
that's
the bag
fine.
if it's an 8th round pick.
Yeah, I mean
that's where I'm at with him.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. He's an 8th rounder. He's not going to make or break your season. Sometimes you can find a guy that can make your season there, but it could be could be Lockett. Lockett could have a great. What if DK went down too? You know, like there's a lot of factors that could come into play. So hold on one second. That's fine. Just hang tight real quick. There's a couple other pieces of news I didn't get to, and then I got to see if there's any voicemails from the Instagram voicemail group. If you guys want to leave me daily voicemails for this show, get on over to my Instagram, The Fantasy Football Show, and click that subscribe button, and you could become a voicemail leaver. You can cancel anytime. It's $4.99 a month. That's a half a cup of coffee in today's world, and you could do it for 1 month. Do it for 1 month for $4.99. You get into an exclusive private group of people that talk all day long. Other paying members, $4.99. So while that's not a boatload of money, it makes you take it seriously. So you're in this group with a bunch of other people paying that $4.99. Easy access to quick, answers. And then any of the voicemails, people hold down the microphone. Any of the voicemails are for me, and I play those on the show. You hear me play them all the time. I hold the record button down, and I answer the question so that it's in the chat as well. You don't have to search on the show or watch every show to get your response. But that's where you want to go there. Let's rock out. Get Robinson. Oh, Bijan. Get Robinson. Yeah. Thank you, Rockout. Appreciate that wonderful rendition of Get Robinson. You may have heard it on the top 50 charts. I don't know if that's a remake of an old classic, but thank you very much for dropping that. What was I saying? Jerick McKinnon, Chiefs GM Veach. This guy Veach is a great assessment of talent. Still loves free agent Jerick McKinnon, who's getting no calls, no one's fielding any of his his sit downs. Like this guy's I believe he's 30. What is he? 31 years old himself. And for a running back, that is like ancient. But he's kind of like a wide receiver in a way. So it's not like don't expect a full season out of this guy. But if he goes back to Kansas City, Jerick McKinnon, let me see if I can pull up McKinnon's actual age. I think he's 31. Jerick McKinnon he's a free agent. He is 30 years old. He turns 30. Oh, no. He turns 31 in a couple, less than a month. Turns 31 in less than a month. Jerick McKinnon, I predict goes back to Kansas City. If you're in a best ball draft, he's a great, last round pick if you're looking for an RB, because if he goes back to Kansas City, who's to say he can't coexist with Pacheco again and have, almost low-end wide receiver 3-4 numbers from that running back position. So I really like him. I hope he ends up back on the roster in Kansas City. He's, definitely a guy to keep an eye on. This news right here, Sam Howell. This is Sam Howell is one of the biggest sleeper quarterbacks on this channel. We talk a lot about how Lamar is the answer in Washington. It's a no-brainer. It's borderline incompetence. We hope this new ownership led by Magic and the boys, once they get approved in May at the owners meeting, that this new ownership comes in and says, Lamar Jackson, we're going to go get him. We really do hope, in my opinion at least, I really do hope that they do that and bring in Lamar. If they don't, I'm very excited about Sam Howell. I think if there's any rags to riches quarterback in fantasy football that is a guy you barely even draft at all in a 1 QB league, and a guy that you get laughed at if this is your QB2 in a super flex, this is the biggest rags to riches potential quarterback. Sam Howell And let's see, the Commanders view QB Sam Howell as their likely future starter, but there will be more clarity after the draft. So look for them to look at the draft to potentially bring in another quarterback, i.e. Hendon Hooker, Stetson Bennett. There's a lot of options that could potentially throw a wrench into this Sam Howell rise, but I don't know that the Commanders are going to do any big quarterback move. So unless they go get Lamar, which I think they should do after the draft, then Sam Howell's probably going to get the start, and Sam Howell's probably going to impress some people, in my opinion. And then we've got this last piece of news here. Saquon, we're going to probably have another video just on this alone. I don't know if it'll be tonight for tomorrow's premiere or just be a random video I upload in the middle of the night. Saquon Barkley has not signed his franchise tag. Saquon Barkley is in full holdout mode as of this moment. Now, holding out is not a real option. It's a pretend flex. It's a paper tiger move. You can't really hold out in today's NFL, especially if you're a running back that has a short shelf life. We saw Lev Bell do it, and it destroyed him. Absolutely destroyed him. He did not win that battle. He did not win that maneuver. Saquon Barkley's too smart for that. He's holding out, trying to make it as difficult as he can on the team to prepare for 2023, and in doing that, trying to initiate a long-term contract. He's not trying to, I don't think he's going to get traded. You can tag a player and trade him, but that's not going to happen at the RB position, especially with all these teams not really in a position to pay him big money on a trade and sign, because you talk about $30-something million, maybe 18 to 20 something in guaranteed money. You're talking about a pretty big deal that a team like the Eagles or the Bears or whatever, any team you imagine him going to, when there's not a lot of options out there. A lot of teams don't need an RB, and those that do need an RB are probably willing to draft a cheap free running back that they get for 3 years or 4. They draft him in the first round. So Saquon Barkley probably has no trade market, unfortunately, and he should. I mean, running backs are just screwed. Like, he should have a trade market. He's a fantastic running back. So his play here is to make it as uncomfortable for as long as he can, and he can do this till July. He really can. You can stretch this out until July 17. July 15 is the arbitrary date that a running back, quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, any position has to sign their franchise tag, or they're forced to sign it. They don't get a choice. You're committed to your franchise tag amount, whether you want to believe it or not, and then you're obligated to show up. So Saquon doesn't have to sign anything. Saquon's going to be handed the $10 million franchise tag that he's going to be handed. The team is then going to expect him to be there, but this deadline's July 17. And once July 17 comes, the Giants can no longer negotiate with Saquon on a long-term deal. His $10 million franchise tag amount gets locked into place. So there's no negotiation. There's no ability to address the contract later. He has in between now and July 17 to get the Giants to offer him a long-term deal. So that's his play here. I'm not going to show up, give me my contract, or I'm going to stretch this out and make this really hard to build for 2021. And I'm so good that you're not going to move on. You're franchise tagging me. So I'm going to be able to walk in and just walk right into my starting lineup. It's a crazy power play that works because he's Saquon Barkley. You're not going to move on. You're not going to say, okay, you're not going to be here. We'll start building the offense around you or start getting ready without you. They're going to take him back with open arms on July 17, but that's a long ways away. So let's see what he can get going, get cooking. They said that they wanted to address the franchise tag up to a certain point, or address the new contract, and when negotiations fell short, that they were going to move on from that point on and not really address it anymore. So Barkley's trying to initiate the contract talks again, maybe squeeze out a little more. And honestly, with his injury history, not that he hasn't kind of shaken that label free. Last year it looked phenomenal. Given how old he is, given that there's always a likelihood of an RB to get injured, given that there's a lack of interest in him this year around the league, if he goes into 2023 and gets hurt or something, his market the value and the ability to go get a big fat deal next year is going to dwindle away. So an agent, which Lamar should have, because this is what a smart agent would tell you, is say, look, bro, now is the time to really try your hardest to get that guaranteed deal, because you don't know as an RB if you're ever going to get it again. And so for him to get the most guaranteed money as he can, to get that long-term deal, he likes New York. New York's a good spot for him. Now is the time to attempt, and that's what's going on here. That is all the news. Phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Kurt becoming a member. Appreciate you, Kirk. That link is pinned. That's fire. You got anything else?
Yeah.
Jeremy?
So last year in my league, Saquon and Christian McCaffrey won my friend the league. So, I mean, he took the risk, which to me, with McCaffrey and Barkley, there's obviously injury risk there. And I kind of feel bad for older RBs because I feel like there's so little value put on the position now that, like, they feel almost replaceable. Like, they don't have a very long shelf life. So, I mean, I don't mind Saquon holding out to try and get a bigger bag, because RBs really, they don't have long in the NFL anymore.
They get screwed, bro.
But they get screwed. They do. It's tough being an RB in the modern NFL. But, I mean, I do think, like, you know, he probably has another a year or two that are good. But, I don't know. I'd be looking to go younger at the position.
That's what most teams, you know, and I disagree with the stance that most teams and people have on RBs. I agree with what you're saying, that teams view it that way, and it's unfortunate. They get screwed. But, like, this whole thing of, like, the running backs dead, teams just want to go with multiple RBs. That's not always the case. There's always going to be workhorses. There's a cycle. I remember Zeke Elliott's rookie year. Everyone said that's when the running back died. There's no more workhorse running backs anymore because there was, like, a little drought in new running backs emerging that were true workhorses. Zeke came in. Everything's a cycle. But I do believe that we're seeing less and less of them. And we are seeing a very pass-oriented league. But look at Bijan. You know, look at Jahmyr Gibbs. He's that hybrid workhorse. He's coming in. Look at Charbonnet. He's a workhorse. He's going to be a workhorse. You got a lot of workhorses coming into the NFL. You got Breece Hall, who's a workhorse. You've got all these new young running backs like Kenny Walker. They're all workhorses. There's even the hybrid workhorses need to be accounted for as workhorses. I believe Kamara is a workhorse. I don't care what people say about Kamara's not a Derrick Henry. He's not a workhorse. He is. He's just a different kind of workhorse, and I'm okay if anybody defines him not as one, but I'm going to define those hybrid workhorses as workhorses. So I think it's crazy that teams see a Barkley and they don't say to themselves, this is worth paying a running back, which is a smaller amount of money anyway. We're talking about the franchise tag for a running back being $10 million. Big deal. You're paying your backup quarterbacks $10 million. Like, that's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that Barkley's long-term deal would be somewhere in the $30 million, probably. I don't know if that number's right. And, like, guaranteed, like, 21 or 22 or 23 or 19 or I don't even know what the guaranteed amount would be for Barkley. That's nothing, man. The fact that more teams don't see Barkley on that kind of money, that kind of contract, as a valuable component to their team, and they're just going to potentially rotate running backs through, it's crazy to me. Why Buffalo doesn't see the... I feel like Buffalo has no clue at the running back position. Maybe they prove us wrong and they go get James Cook's brother Dalvin for a third-round pick. They go get Derrick Henry for a second. They go get Eckler for a second. Or maybe Derrick Henry costs you 2/3. Who knows? He's 29 years old. Like, the fact that the Buffalo Bills don't see that value is so weird to me, because it's the difference between a one-dimensional offense and a unstoppable offense that literally marches into the final three teams of the AFC race to the championship game. Like, you're a guaranteed top three team. Guaranteed if you get Derrick Henry or Eckler. You're probably guaranteed an AFC championship, appearance with that kind of addition. And same thing with the rookies. Like, would I rather have Zach Charbonnet than go get Derrick Henry? Absolutely. And Charbonnet could be taken at the top of round 2 probably. Gibbs will probably go at the bottom of 3. The bottom of 1. I think we got groceries coming here. We got groceries being delivered. Miss Smitty doesn't miss. Miss Smitty does it. She's undefeated. I'm out of. Look, I've been eating. Does anybody like cookies or cookie dough ice cream? Miss Smitty and Little Smitty had cookie dough ice cream the other day, and I'm losing weight. I'm losing lbs like a madman. I only eat once a day, pretty much right now. I haven't eaten a single thing today. This is the first calorie intake I've had is this vitamin water. So I intermittent fast, and then I start to.
Someone is at the front door.
She's undefeated in order, but I don't think she's answering the door here. Come here, Smitty. The meatloaf's here. The meatloaf's here. But anyway, she just ordered a new tub of ice cream. I can see them holding it right now. She's got
motion detected at the front door.
The meatloaf. Ron, you on the line?
Yeah.
What's
the
up?
Meatloaf's here.
The meatloaf's here. I've been.
Yeah,
I've been eating once a day, but after I eat, I've got this new routine I do where I eat my only meal of the day, and then I just have this big bowl of cookie dough ice cream. I'm not even an ice cream guy, really. I really am not, and I'm in this big habit of just eat. I love it, bro. I love it. I consume like a carton every 4 days, probably. Still dropping the lbs though.
Yeah, I just got home from the ER.
Why?
I had to make sure, the leg that I had the back surgery and stuff, and I had to be off my blood thinners and all that. And I started getting sore, having the same type of symptoms that I had when I had my blood clot. So I, just a precaution, had to go get it checked out, make sure I didn't form any clots.
Glad you're okay. You said you were in the ER.
But,
I thought, good God, someone sniped him and took Cousins from him in round 8 and then just put him over the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about?
With these running backs.
Oh, good.
These running backs. I mean, if I was Bijan and I was Gibbs and all them, I wouldn't want to be drafted in the first round. I'd want to be drafted in the second round. That way, they can't take that 5th-year option, because that's a whole year in a running back's life, which is already minimized, that they can't negotiate for higher pay. So I'd much rather be going in. If I was a running back, I'd want to go in the second round, at least the second round. I wouldn't want to go in the first round.
Thank you, Rock Out. Appreciate it. Yeah, you make some points, some valid points. I think part of it is you get first round money. Other part of it is that draft capital sometimes puts you in a more viable spot. But you're talking about just a small difference in picks, going at 28 overall versus 37. That there could be minimal difference that is worth not being in a situation where you get that option picked up. But I do feel like also that the odds of you going to a worse situation though increase if you get picked at the top of round 2 versus, obviously if you're getting, looking at this NFL draft, it's do you want, if you're Charbonnet, would you rather go to these winning teams right here, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Philly, KC, or fall into round 2 and more than likely, of course, there's some teams that own other teams' draft picks, but you're most likely running back into these bad situations with no quarterbacks or young quarterbacks so it's it's a catch-22. Yeah. There's pros and cons to it. I get what you're saying. Contract-wise, there is some pros and cons to not having that 5th-year option, but the money decreases as well. But we'll see. Am I missing something? Go ahead.
If you're a running back like John, and the chances of you being successful are very high. I'd be I'll go in the second round, sign me up, and then 4 years, once I'm running like a madman, I'm negotiating. You're going to pay me.
Well, after 3 years, they'll do that before the 4th year.
Huh?
Yeah, they'll do that after the 3 years. You know, they'll do that after the 3 years.
Right. But
yeah.
if he had first round, then they could always just grab his 5th-year option and
Right.
he's stuck.
Right. Am I missing something about Damian Harris? I put him in Leonard Fournette and Singletary territory. Dude is a distraction from real talent. No, you're not missing something. I mean, have you heard me mention when I say the Buffalo Bills need to go get a running back? You don't hear me ever say anything like, "Oh, Damian's there." That's Steven. Damian's decent. Like, Damian's a good. Like, would it shock me if Damian Harris had a good year? No. But he feels very similar to the same RB type that they've had there. And maybe that's good. Maybe if they don't address the position again and they don't get Dalvin Cook, they don't go get Henry or Eckler, they don't draft Charbonnet or Jahmyr Gibbs or even a Sean Tucker, then yeah, we're back to, okay, well, which one of these RBs in Buffalo is the best shot? I think James Cook is okay. I just don't love him. Damian Harris, I feel like, is better than James Cook. I think Damian Harris would actually have... Like, we'll have to reassess Damian Harris's value if we exit the NFL draft and the Buffalo Bills don't bring in a heavy hitter like Sean Tucker. I feel he's a heavy hitter. They don't bring in a player like, Eckler or Henry or whatever. I think I could see Dalvin Cook and James Cook brothers playing together for some reason, but it's just crazy. Who cares about a third rounder? Dalvin Cook would cost you what? What do you guys think? A third rounder, a couple third rounders? Not a second, right? He probably wouldn't even cost a second. He probably cost a third-round pick. Like, why would you not try that?
I just question if he's even worth it, to be honest. If I'm Buffalo, I'd rather just go after Charbonnet or Gibbs.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course, but I don't know that they're going to do that. They don't have the history suggests that they won't invest in one at the draft capital level. Maybe they'll change their mind, and we're hoping for it. Every day we show this board, and we're like, Charbonnet to Buffalo Bills would be amazing. Charbonnet to the Bengals would be amazing. Charbonnet to the Eagles would be like, we talk about it every day, but at the same time, I mean, it feels like they don't feel the same way that we do about it. So if not, then trade for Dalvin Cook using a third freaking round pick. Hod says,
I think Hodo probably needs to take a couple laps. How do you sit there and you wish Bijan have a major injury or two before his rookie contract expires? How do you like hope for that?
Bijan will have a major injury or two before his rookie contract expires. Whoa, Hod, come on, bro, come on.
He needs to take a couple from that remark.
You've just been Smitty.
Why do you wish that on anybody?
I don't know. Technically, not defending him. Technically, I don't think he wished it. He's predicting it. But still.
Well,
still.
Predict? Still. Go, oh, yes,
terrible prediction.
Keep Bijan's name out of your mouth, bro. I'll defend Hod that he didn't wish it. Ron's wording was a little off. But to suggest that Bijan, a man of the people here at the Fantasy Football Show, you keep Bijan's name out of your mouth, bro. We don't have none of that Bijan negativity up in here. Bijan to the moon, baby. We don't have a Bijan animation. We have the Breece Halls, the Kenneth Walkers, the Justin Fields. I need to come up with something for Bijan, similar to the Breece Hall's 8 foot tall. So I'll come up with something tonight. It's my fault that I don't have that. That's my fault. Yeah, I defended you, Hod. I said you didn't wish it. Ron was just a little heated. I don't blame him for being heated. You definitely need to take a lap for what you said, but I definitely feel like you didn't say wish. You're just predicting it, but it's not a fun prediction on this channel. I'll tell you that right now. Let's see here.
Even to put it out there is like even predicting that he's going to have major. Don't do that. I mean,
not for Bijan.
we're just because Hall got it last year. And get injured more, but you still it's kind of blasphemous to say like that.
In Hod's defense, I say things like Tua's going to get hurt and all that, but still, you're in a Bijan. Read the room, Hod. Read the room. You're in a Bijan world. You're walking into a Bijan community and you're saying Bijan's going to get hurt. It's going to create a little animosity, and you're going to have people twisting words up. And I don't blame Ron for reading it wrong or getting heated about it, because I got heated myself. Gregory comes in here and says, Smitty, I owe you an apology on A.J. Brown last year. You was right. I was wrong. Prayer emojis. It takes a real man to come in here and in return. I don't even remember, Greg. You could have come in and said A.J. Brown's the best. I would have said, Greg's the man to the moon. I wouldn't have known. I would never have remembered this, Greg. So the fact that you've got the nerve and the courage and the amazingness to come in here and admit that, I appreciate you. So to the moon. To the moon, Gregory.
Motion detected.
I have a nickname for Bijan, by the way. Bijan the Religion. Like the religion.
It's okay. That's fire, bro. Bijan the religion. Bro, it's so bad, we might have to turn it into something good. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes some of the best ideas on this channel are the worst ideas on the planet, and they just stick.
There's just nothing that rhymes with Bijan.
Bijan's a religion. I think you gotta say it that way too to even make it work. Bijan's a religion. Who's at the door now? Ziggy, show me the front door. I think Miss Smitty's got multiple deliveries coming. One from Target, one from Fry's. What do we got here? I did get my Prime energy drinks finally came in. I ordered them like a month and a half ago. I've been sucking on fumes at this point, waiting for my reorder to come in. Thank you, Gregory. Appreciate you. Bijan.
Yeah, but you haven't got your money gun fixed yet.
I haven't what, Ron?
You haven't got your money gun fixed yet.
I know. I got to head over to my... Bro, for me to even go to the post office or to even like go do something is like a big chore for me. So I got to like drive over to my brother's. He lives like 2.5 miles away and try and get him to fix this thing. It's
make one of the runs over there. Just decide I'm going to take a run over to my brother.
Yeah, run with the money gun down the street. That's a real great idea, Ron. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bijan's a religion.
I missed the Brady news. Was there anything to that, or was that just all speculation?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty significant when you read it. I mean, there's nothing. It's just asked about coming out of retirement and playing for the Dolphins. He said, I will say now that I'm not affiliated with any team anymore, even though I have strong ties with a couple teams. And he's talking about, so like his wording was crazy. It wasn't like, I'm done, stop. You know, like if he had done that, I would have had a lot less like ability to come in here and say, I still think he's returning. I would have just been quiet about it. I do believe he's returning no matter what he says, or he's got a real strong shot at returning no matter what he says. Depends on the opportunities that unfold. I don't think he's returning in August. I don't think he's returning in September or even October. But he'd have to have the right situation. The Niners, Niner Rick came in and said that I'm dodging him. And the phone line's sitting here. Niner Rick is yet to call. He says, I'm dodging him. My phone line's right here, Niner. But he's trying to say that he's going to the Niners, and I'm dodging him over it. Like I've said that the Niners are an option for Tom Brady, so I don't know what he's even talking about. He's dodging me at this point. I think that Tom Brady, a perfect scenario has to unfold. It's not like it's a given he's coming back, but I think he's strongly going to consider it when the call comes in. Like, hey, it's Kyle Shanahan. We got our quarterbacks injured again. Forget you. You wrote me off. I'm not coming to play for you. He could do that. Miami Mike picks up the phone. Hey, you want to stick it to Kyle Shanahan, who continues to say no to you? Absolutely. Let's go win a championship and run this team into the ground. Imagine that. Imagine this year the Niners versus the Miami Dolphins in the Super Bowl. You imagine that? Tom Brady comes back and just lambaste the Niners in a Super Bowl run? I mean, it's all possible. All of us want Tommy, says Jimbo, who's a Niner fan, obviously. And I don't blame you, and you deserve him. You should have had him the year that he went to Tampa Bay, bro, but Kyle Shanahan said no.
Who did Marino Super Bowl? The only Super Bowl he went to, wasn't that San Francisco?
Who? What?
Marino, when he went to his only Super Bowl his first year, wasn't it against San Francisco?
I forget who he faced off against.
I can't remember. I think it was.
Time to testify. Bijan of religion. Bijan the religion. We do have Biaja. Biaja is a pretty good. I don't know if I can make some sort of animation out of that one. That guy calls him Biaja. He's like, what about this kid, this running back Biaja? Like my mom would say. Here's your Biaja character. He looks pretty good. Who else do we got on the phone? Austin. I'm sorry, Austin. I forgot you were there, bro. How long you been sitting there? You're live. Austin, hello? Austin, hello? You're on mute. I think Austin fell asleep. Can we get a couple sleep emojis for Austin? I put him on hold for so long. I apologize, Austin. He's probably been there since last show. Poor little guy.
Yeah, it was. It was against San Francisco.
Ron's still talking about that. Ron.
Well, no, it was against Montana. That was the only time Marino ever made it to the Super Bowl. So, yeah. Well, because you were mentioning, wouldn't it be something to have a Miami-San Francisco Super Bowl? And that happened. That was the last time that happened. And the last time Dolphins made the Super Bowl was when they faced San Francisco in that Super Bowl. Montana and Marino.
I gotcha. Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be insane. That'd be insane. If Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl with another team, I don't think there's any possible way his legacy could ever be challenged. I mean, it already is. Yeah, it's already in. But like Mahomes, some people think Mahomes is going to rival, even if he doesn't get the rings, he's going to rival it in certain ways. But like if Tom Brady goes to a third team and wins the Super Bowl, it's going to be unbelievable.
No, let me pull a prime comment. No, Mahomes will probably have 2 major injuries before that happens, and he'll be out of football. That's something Prime would say.
Ron's not going to let this go.
That's a tribute to Prime comment.
Ron's not going to let it go. Hey, real quickly, we got Matt on hold. Austin, I think I see Austin's volume moving around, so maybe Austin woke up. Matt, hang tight. Austin, you're live on the show, bro. You still there? Wakey, wakey. Hello?
Put him in the sleep room with Rock out and...
Austin, you're about to go in the panic chamber, bro. I see Austin's microphone popping off a little bit. I think he fell asleep. It's moving around. Austin. Austin, wakey, wakey, Austin. Austin. All right, Matt, you're live, Matt. Can you please pronounce the running back that is going to be the number 1 rookie running back in fantasy football 2023? What is his name, bro?
That is going to be Bijan Robinson.
Bijan? Say it again.
Bijan.
Bijan. You still can't get it.
Bijan.
Bijan.
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah. Bro, if you're going to announce his name on draft day, you got to say it right. You got to say it right. It's not Biaja.
I know how to say Bijan.
It's not Bijan. He said Bijan the other day. Bijan Robinson.
I said Bijan.
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
Now it's Biaja. Go ahead, bro.
If I'm in this keeper, my dynasty keeper, you just keep talking about Kamara. If he's there, when should I draft him? Because I think I'm a running back or 1 or 2 players away from going all the way.
Where do I draft Kamara?
I don't think he's going to get protected in our 5 keeper league.
Can you give me a list of names that are available? So 5 keeper league, that puts you about 5 or 6 round territory.
Top 60 players are usually top 5.
I would say like within the first couple rounds. Like, I mean, it depends on where he's pre-ranked. So if all these players get cut, are you drafting online or are you drafting in person?
We're doing it online.
Okay, so you're going to have a pre-ranked list of all the available guys. So you're just going to want to look at that. That's got to be your guide. If he's the third running back listed.
Javonte, I got to keep him too, Javonte.
I don't know if you're keeping
So my
Javonte.
running backs are weak. You're not going to keep him?
I don't know.
You want me to keep Montgomery?
I mean, the thing is, man, I mean, Javonte, you're keeping him so that you can
He's
maintain.
dynasty for me.
I know. It's not dynasty. It's not
year.
dynasty, though. It's a 5 keeper. It's a keeper league. It's not dynasty league.
Right, but I would keep him if he's, I mean, I would like to try to keep him and hope, I suffer a little bit this year. You said he'll come on like week 10.
But let me ask you this question, because this is what you got to ask yourself, bro. If you throw Javonte back, is he going to get drafted right away? No, you'll probably be able to draft him back.
I'm not picking until the 9th pick.
It doesn't matter. He's probably not playing week 1. I don't think he's getting drafted in round 6. But
so you like me leaving him out there and trying to get him back on the 9th pick?
Well, I mean, I didn't even know if I want to take him back, bro. I'm not sure if I want to even draft him. It depends on who's on the clock. It's not someone that, like, Javonte's not winning you a league right now. The news today's bleak news, more bleak news, similar to what we've been talking about. I hate to say it. I love Javonte, bro. But the team here.
Can I just handcuff, pick up P. Ryan?
But you don't even know.
Ride him out till Javonte? No.
I mean, maybe, but
Sure,
what if
what happens?
They draft Tucker or something?
What happens if drafts? Peyton, because he loves running back, and Bijan ends up becoming an afterthought, and that's happened to more than one player in the history.
Javonte.
They get injured and they don't get the job back.
You said Bijan, Javonte.
Yeah, don't put that on Bijan.
Yeah, don't put that on
Javonte.
Javonte, like, bro, this news right here is awful. Doesn't know when is the quote from the GM. Doesn't know when. He'll be back at some point this year, but doesn't know when. That could be a play on words. It could be a bad answer. It could be he doesn't know anything and he's just repeating what he knows. You know what I mean? Like think about it from this perspective too. If this is any organization. Every organization's run how? Fear. Every organization in the history of mankind is run based on fear. The Bruce is afraid he's going to get... Rockout's on hold right now. Rockout is interrupting me because he's afraid that he might get replaced as the main musician of the show. So he's just hanging tight, staying in his lane. Like every organization's run out of fear. And so when you're called up and you're you're in charge of Javonte's recovery, you're the rehab guy. How's it looking? Oh, it's great. You're on speakerphone. Javonte's doing good. GM's like, is he coming along? Yeah, he's gonna. We're excited. Very, very good, optimistic outlook. Like we're not even getting that fake optimistic outlook from this GM. But like we don't know. There's so much craziness going on, and you can't believe anybody like a GM or an owner even has the correct information half the time because everybody's just optimistic or whatever. The fact that we have bad news at all, and we're not hearing like a overwhelming amount of optimism, is a bad sign. So my advice to you would be to not avoid Javonte in reacquiring him for your team, but this is not one of your top 5 keepers right now. Like you said Monty, so like let's dig through your keepers. Maybe he is. Maybe I'm gonna end up changing my mind back, but like Monty's not bad. Monty helps you win right now. Javonte doesn't.
Right. Let me see here.
Yeah, name your team off, bro. If you got like a Watson or a London you're throwing back, I'm going to flip out.
I don't.
Yeah, the only other guy I have is Drake London. How do I say his name? Drake London?
Amari Cooper, Jacoby Myers, Cole Kmet, but I already have Mark Andrews.
I don't even like Cooper, and that's not bad. You have Mark Andrews you're keeping, though?
So far, I would say so. You told me to. I got Jamar Chase, Josh Allen,
nice.
Mark Andrews, T. Higgins.
Nice.
And then I got Montgomery, Javonte.
Bro,
Godwin.
if someone comes out of the gate in round 6 and drafts Javonte, and, things could change. When do you have to make your decision?
Oh, we don't draft till after the third preseason
Okay, so
game.
you've got time to react. If Javonte news kicks into into motion and we got a better expectation, then you can come in and we can talk about Javonte. But for right now, if you had to make this decision now, Amari Cooper or Monty's going to help you win. And I probably would lean Monty. Ron, what do you think? And then we'll go to Rock Out. Who would you keep here? Javonte, Monty, or Amari Cooper?
I also have Damian Harris, but that's kind of a joke.
There it is.
Can you imagine Damian Harris in round 5? Go ahead, Ron. Quick answer. Who do you like best?
If Deshaun Watson comes back to form, I like Cooper. But if he doesn't, then Cooper sucks. But Cooper has a lot of upside.
Cooper did have a good year.
I just don't have any running backs.
I'd probably keep Monty. Rock Out. Who you keeping? Monty? Rock Out. Monty, Javonte, or Amari Cooper?
Monty.
And he's kind of living in round 5 anyway, right? He's right around round 5. I even said I don't feel great about Monty in round 5. I'm just being honest. It feels a little bit worrisome, a little bit. But Javonte's not a 5th round pick. Javonte, bro, in a best ball draft, I'm not taking Javonte until like round 9. And even then, it's like a shoot in the dark. But I like it in best ball because you don't have to worry. When he comes in, he comes in. But like in a redraft setting, I'm not even thinking about Javonte in the top 6 rounds. Not even close. And that's coming from somebody that absolutely loved him last year. So Monty,
he just reminds me of like J.K. Dobbins.
Monty
is the guy ever going to be right?
Monty lives in round 5. He lives in round 5. Amari Cooper and Monty are the picks here, and I'm not even a big Amari Cooper fan. Garrett dropping a super chat to answer your question. That's how much Garrett is passionate about helping you. Garrett says Amari Cooper, not a discussion. He loves Amari Cooper, says Garrett. Garrett, thank you for the super chat.
You also told me to maybe make a trade, too.
Yeah.
Last time.
I did. Okay, we'll discuss that in a second. Rock Out, what did you say, Rock Out? Monty?
Monty. Because I'm being against Javonte later.
Monty? That's fire. Who you keeping?
It's easy for me. I'm taking Amari Cooper with Watson's upside going into next season.
Figured.
I don't think it's a discussion either.
I figured you
I think
would.
Cooper's the easy pick.
Just no running backs I have?
Yeah, that's the part I would say Monty. Because Monty lives in round 5. It's not like you're reaching at all. You're just taking him at cost. You're taking him at, it's not a value, really. It's kind of where he lives. As far as a trade, bro, I think what I would do if I was you. So you got Andrews. Let's go to the board real quick.
I also got Higgins because I already have Jamar Chase. So unless I run with both Bengals receivers,
a little risky in redrafting if it's not best ball, but I mean it's okay. The fact that you have.
He tried to draft something?
You what?
Couldn't he try to draft the Charbonnet or something instead of Javonte? I mean, that's what I would look at.
Are the rookies in the player pool, bro?
Yeah, they will be.
Oh.
Well, in the draft, when they're in the draft. So I don't know who's going to be available at 9.
Probably Charbonnet. So I'm with Ron if he's there, but we'll just have to see. Okay, so your team is Josh Allen,
correct?
Chase, Higgins.
Yep.
And Andrews.
Yep.
And you got Cooper or Monty.
Monty.
Okay, so is anybody weak enough to where like they want a Cooper?
I don't know. Our league is they're just all running back heavy. I mean, the running backs are going to go. Maybe a couple of the wideouts.
So then you have to keep you have to keep Monty if that's the case.
I really feel like I do.
Yeah.
I just don't want to, but he's been a solid 2 for I don't know how long.
Bro, I mean,
it's not exciting.
I mean Jamal Williams, aka Javonte, according to Denny. Denny, if you're out there calling, he had 17 touchdowns. This guy, Jamal Williams. Monty's replacing him. They've said very clearly that they want to limit Swift to keep him healthy. Monty's going to get a real nice shake at a very good running back 2 production level for you. Now, granted,
they paid him. You follow the money, you know he's going to play, I think.
So, I guess what I would say is, like, do you think that the Burrow owner would swap you Burrow and Allen and give you something small? That would be interesting. Can you?
Man, I still like Josh.
Can you trade Amari Cooper away to move up like 7 picks in one of the rounds? Like, can you trade Amari Cooper away to move your 9 pick to like 5? Move your 9 pick to 7? Can you? Does anybody does the guy? So
sure.
just give Cooper for free to somebody and say, move me up 2 spots in the first round from 9 to 7, from 9 to 6, to 9 to 5. Like,
it only will work if it's pre-draft. You know, they can only keep 5 players.
Yeah, so go look through people that have no.
Weak enough.
Yeah, go look at teams that have no good 5th keeper and see if they're drafting right above you. Let's give them Cooper for free.
Gotcha.
You know, or if RBs are so valuable, bro, keep Cooper and trade Monty and move your 9 up to 6, and then now you've got an RB.
Another thought experiment, just spitballing, is you could move Higgins since you have Chase too. You could keep Cooper and move Higgins for a better running back.
Yeah, definitely.
What would you take? I know Smitty, what he's going to say, but Higgins for Nick Chubb.
No,
and the guy who
I would consider that.
Chubb has Burrow.
I would consider that, bro, because you're not in a dynasty league. You keep saying you're in a dynasty league. You're not in a dynasty league.
It's a keeper of 5 players, so I can own any player.
But it's still a keeper
career.
league.
Okay.
In that,
sure.
you're developing other talent all the time, and you might as well pack it in and quit if you don't have faith in yourself to develop a 5th guy. So what I'm saying is, if you were to take this out and say, well, I'm telling you, Chubb's got 1 year left at best. And so basically you're going to have Allen, Jamar Chase, Andrews, and whoever your other keeper is, and you have a hole now. You don't have a solid keeper for your 5th spot, but have faith in yourself. You're in a keeper league. You're going to develop talent. You're going to have somebody that you draft that's going to become a problem for you in terms of making this decision. So don't worry so much about always keeping 5 guys you expect and want to keep constantly. It's not a dynasty league. It's a keeper league. So go get a now player in Chubb for Higgins. Absolutely. I don't think you're going to pull that off, though, because you just told me that this is a running back hungry group. I don't know that they're going to do that, but I would swap that across in a heartbeat, even with me doubting Chubb a little bit, because you need to have an RB, and that would be a strong start for you.
Sure. Okay.
But I will say I'm a little gun shy about Chubb this year. Like, I would prefer a better option. I know that's Fire's going to say go Nick Chubb because he's a Browns fan.
I'm actually with you. I wouldn't go Chubb either. If you can replace him with someone in a similar tier, like a similar round slot, I'd probably take them over Chubb.
Who could we come up with? Let's see. Instead of Chubb, I would say. I mean, obviously, I want Breece Hall, Walker, those guys, but you're not gonna. I mean, maybe you will.
Nope.
Maybe Breece Hall's injury is going to scare some people away. You could always poke around at that.
I know you're going to say I'm a homer, but Najee, consider Najee if you can get him.
I would do that, Ron. I don't think that's
not
a bad move.
I do Najee. Higgins for Najee, sure. But you're in a running back hungry league. It sounds like you're not going to be able to pull that off. But try, bro.
Tough.
Try. If not, as Ron said earlier, rookies are the key. Gibbs, Charbonnet, obviously Bijan. If Bijan fell to like
number 1,
you think he is going? You think he's going number 1?
It's just a done deal. Our league is smart. They're not done.
Okay. Well, can you move up to like 5 using Cooper?
I mean, I can try. But
I mean, am I crazy?
My league doesn't even want me talking right now. It's too far away.
Your league doesn't want you talking. You tell them. You tell them that you'll do what you want, bro. You'll do what you want. You'll talk if you want to talk. Hey, guys, Am I crazy here for thinking this real quickly? Because think about this for a second. And this is coming from somebody that absolutely doesn't love Amari Cooper, okay? Is it crazy to say keep Cooper instead of Higgins if you could trade Higgins to move your number 9 up to like 3 overall? Like, would you rather
I
have
like it.
you what?
I like it.
I think Cooper has upside. If John Watson comes to form, Cooper has a lot of upside.
I would strongly consider taking that downgrade of Higgins into keeping Cooper. Trade Higgins to move that 9 pick as high as you can go, because Higgins is a strong.
I've thought about it.
That's a strong piece to give somebody, bro. Higgins is a strong piece,
And he's going to
Cooper's
be
not.
on another team probably after this season too. Higgins.
Maybe, but I would do that trade. I would trade Higgins to move that 9 up as high as possible, and then keep Cooper.
Our league likes draft picks. Like I'll give them my first and my second first round picks to move up a few spots in the first round. I might be able to swing something like that.
Yeah, this is my final answer, man. Trade Higgins as much as I don't want you to do it. Trade Higgins to move the 1.9 up to like at least like 1.4, 1.5. Like, you got to move it up. You can't move it up one spot. And then that way you keep Cooper, because the difference in Cooper and Higgins is not that crazy. Then you have Allen, Chase, Andrews, Cooper, Monty in the 1.4. And then you end up getting a really good player at running back at 1.4 versus what you're going to be left with at 1.9. That's the move to make, bro.
I like that. I like that.
Hang tight. Let's go to Rock Out one more time. Rock Out, what did you call for? Is there anything I can help address?
Yeah, I'm trying to move up in the first round. Would you trade? I got double second round pick, and I could possibly send another first for next year to go up this year's first round, because I have the last pick in the first.
So repeat that. I'm a little confused on what we're doing here. Give me the trade.
I got 2 second round picks I could send off to possibly move up to the first round, but possibly maybe get a little bit higher, maybe send next year's first round.
Like, you could get into the 1.1?
Like a top 3 pick.
Okay, so 1.3, this is Gibbs or JSN or Charbonnet, right? So 2 seconds plus a 24 first. How's your team looking? Is it strong?
Very strong other than quarterback.
Okay, so 1.3. It'd have to be the 1.3 or higher. I don't think I'd do this for the 1.4. I mean, I might. On the clock, I might. This is a deal I would maybe do on the clock. If I'm sitting there and I see Charbonnet there, it's 1.4. I don't care if it's 1.4 anymore. Because once the draft is here, it's a name. Once you're on the clock, it's a player. So it's a lot easier to distinguish whether it should be done or not. If you're trading 2 seconds in a 2024 first to get Zach Charbonnet on the clock, and you know where Zach Charbonnet is playing, and you've got all this information, that becomes a very viable 1.3 or 1.4 move. But I think you just need to know. Right now, I'd do it blindly for the 1.3 because I feel like you got control. You're either getting Charbonnet or Gibbs, or you're getting JSN. Having 1.4 means you could be left with the scraps of that top 4, and it could be a bad landing spot. But I have a feeling the 1.4 will be suitable on the clock for me. Like, I'm always more willing to trade for a lower pick when that pick is on the clock and I see the player there and I'm like, wow, 1.5. I would have never given what I'm offering right now for the 1.5, but the 1.5 is on the clock and this player that I love sitting there, and I'm surrendering more than I ever dreamed I would for the 1.5 because now it's a player. That's Fire drops I'm sorry, that's Fire. Garrett. I mix Garrett and That's Fire up. I feel like they're the same person. Sometimes you guys' takes are the same. Garrett says Olave is dirt. Mike Thomas is the man. Oh.
I mean, come on, Smitty. Are you really gonna push me into him?
Like
Thomas?
I mean, sometimes you're if I was to try and remember who made the Mike Thomas bet with me, I don't know if it's you or That's Fire. I mix it up. But Garrett, I love that Garrett drops
That's just offensive.
Garrett, this is cute. This is cute, Garrett. Dropping a super chat to literally say that Olave is dirt. I don't even know where this is coming from. Honestly, Garrett, I'm shocked you even like my content, because Olave is going to 100% be one of my favorite players this year. I need to have an Olave. Let me write this down. I need an Olave animation, and I need a Bijan animation. I need to write that down. Olave is... I officially like Olave more than Garrett Wilson. A lot of it has to do with cost of entry, but Olave in the third round is one of the biggest home runs in fantasy football.
You've just been...
It is kind of familiar, though, with That's Fire. I mean, That's Fire said Fields was garbage, so...
Yeah. I mean,
you guys all overrate him. That's why I say that.
Yeah, but you're saying like Josh Allen is not as good as Watson. Okay, like, can I get an approval in the chat that those are very similar? To say Josh Allen is not as good as Deshaun Watson is very equivalent to saying that Mike Thomas is better than Olave. Those are very, very similar.
That is not even remotely.
Yes, it is. You just don't know it because you're blind. Like, bro, that's your opinion, so you think that this opinion is not crazy. We did the Twitter poll, bro. We did a Twitter poll. You got 15 votes for Deshaun Watson over Josh Allen. And those votes never grew. Not one more vote came in. There's 15 people that are Deshaun Watson believers that watch the channel, whatever. But we did the Twitter poll, and the Twitter poll destroyed, just absolutely obliterated the discussion and argument. Let me see if I can find the Twitter results here. I got it somewhere in here. But it wasn't even close, bro.
Wait, why don't we show the other polls? Because biased Twitter.
No, the Instagram poll. You might find the Instagram poll. You're gonna make me go look for this and embarrass you.
75%.
You want me to go embarrass you, bro? Hold on.
75% brown.
Let me see if I can find this. I gotta go into my archive and find my story posts and go look for this poll.
Mob mentality.
It's not mob mentality, bro. You literally don't know that you are Garrett right now. You are Garrett. And Garrett doesn't know he's Garrett either. Garrett doesn't know That's Fire. You don't know that you're Garrett. Finkel doesn't know that they're Einhorn. Einhorn doesn't know that they're Finkel. This is the same thing, bro. It's the same thing over and over and over. Let me see if I can find this poll. I got the poll somewhere. It's so many stories back. Goodness gracious. How far back was this? When did I make this poll? Deshaun Watson. Where is it?
It was at least a couple weeks ago.
Oh, God, I have so many story posts a week. Here we go. That's the final result. See it? 77% to 20. 77% to 23%. Which, honestly... And the question is, can Watson be better than Josh Allen? Not will he be. It was, can he be? And the fact that you don't even have that it's crazy enough that you have that many people that said he could be. And those are like Browns fans. Those are Deshaun Watson owners. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna I could literally say, could Mike Thomas beat Olave? And there will be some Mike Thomas owners that go, oh, I got Mike Thomas. Yeah, the answer is yeah. But bro, to sit here and say that I can't believe you're still arguing this. To say Deshaun Watson,
risk and delusion are two different things. Risk and delusion are.
To say Deshaun Watson over Josh Allen is any different than Olave and Mike Thomas. You just don't know it, but you're living in delusion land. But I still appreciate you. That's fire.
There are plenty of people that don't think my Deshaun Watson take is crazy. I really don't think it's that crazy. If you look at the setup he has going into this year, slow start maybe, but Deshaun Watson's going to return.
Are we still going
to get old in his prime?
Garrett, that's fire. I'm sorry. That's fire. Can we change your name? It is so hard to say that's fire, and people don't know. They think I'm saying that's fire, bro. Like about a topic. We gotta change. We gotta change your name. Fire. We can't say that's fire.
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
Huh? I like his name because it's unique, and you know exactly who you're talking.
It is, but the problem is people think I'm not addressing a person. They think I'm just randomly going that's fire, and it doesn't. Right. I gotta change his name.
Credit, buddy.
I'm not changing it.
I'm changing it. I'm changing it. You don't have to change it in the YouTube chat, but when I address you on the phone, I can't just say that's fire. People are like, what is he saying that's fire for? We'll call you Fire Bill. Fire Marshal. The Fire Marshal.
In living color, Jim Carrey.
What? Hey, that's fire. Do you mind providing your first name or no?
Marshall Fire.
Yeah, it's Jake.
Jake?
Marshmallow Fire.
Jake.
Jake?
From State Farm.
Pam or Pan? Pam?
Jake.
Okay.
Jake from
Fire
State Farm.
Marshal Jake. That's a pretty fire nickname, bro. Like I don't think you should be that offended if I start calling you Fire Marshal Jake. That's a pretty good
I
name.
just like that's fire because it's always
Marshmallow
fire.
Jake.
I have to call you Fire Marshal Jake just because it's too confusing for the chat. They're like, why does he keep saying? They don't know what I'm saying.
Fire Marshal.
Fire Marshal Jake.
That threw me
Let me
off
just
last
point out
night.
that in the chat there have been 3 people already that
forgot
are
about
saying
the
everyone's
smartest
sleeping
cat
on
there is to
Deshaun.
have.
So
I'm sorry, everyone's talking at
You
once.
have the smartest chat. You have the smartest chat. Don't down the chat. We're all smart people here.
Yeah, but
we know what you're talking about.
I still like Fire Marshal Jake. It's pretty good. I mean, look, we've got some nicknames where people want to take them. I'm sticking with it. I like it. Hey, Jake. First of all, Fire Marshal Jake. What did you just say?
well, I said if you look in the chat, there's already people that are saying everyone's sleeping on Deshaun. It's true. I mean, I don't care about being called delusional because at the end of the year, I'm going to be vindicated for this take.
Mm-hmm. Garrett, appreciate your comment. Garrett says ducking the bet. Let's see here. Oh, he sent another one. I'm sorry. I'm not ducking anything, bro. You think I'm going to back down from a Mike Thomas versus Olave bet? Come on, bro.
Hey,
That's
no different. That's fire. That's no different than my take all last year on Derrick Henry. And I pushed it, even though Smitty pushed back. I kept pushing Henry all year long, and that's no different. Stick
Then
with
what?
Your guys. That's what you.
I don't know. I think
Stick with your guy.
I think Watson over Josh Allen is ludicrous. Like Henry, you had an argument. The only argument was against Father Time. It wasn't against Henry's talent and all this. You know what I mean? So I don't think it was similar.
Yeah, because Deshaun Watson's talent is in question.
This guy, Fire Marshal Jake, is delusional with
whether he can get.
I love him though.
It's whether he can get back to where he was prior. You know,
I love you, Fire Marshal, but I don't know that. I don't know that you're seeing this clearly, and that's fine. You're inside the smoke right now. Most fire marshals don't have time to react. They're in the situation. They're very close to the situation. Every fire looks the same to a fire marshal. It's dangerous, and you just got to run in and try and save the day. And you're sitting here looking at this Deshaun Watson fire, and you feel like you just got to put it out, and you don't care. You don't think it's any different than Josh Allen, but Josh Allen's a monster, bro. Like to not believe that Josh Allen versus Deshaun Watson isn't similar to a Olave versus Mike Thomas argument is crazy. And Garrett says I'm ducking a bet. Garrett, I don't know where this other comment is. You're gonna have to tell me again. I don't know what you're saying.
Let me ask you a question.
You're gonna start losing sleep at night. You're gonna start losing
You think
sleep at
Josh
night over
Allen-
thinking about Deshaun Watson.
Do you think Josh Allen and Watson in his prime are comparable quarterbacks?
Do I think Deshaun Watson and Josh Allen are comparable in their prime? That question is that question's irrelevant though, because Watson has been out of football for so long. This is similar to the old, can we find a single player?
What if he comes back and he plays like he did in his prime? Would you consider him in the top tier though, along with Allen?
I would consider him in that like T-Law Fields tier, which is still very good. Like if he could reclaim that, that's where he would climb for me, because that's where Watson kind of lived. It was like he could be 3, he could be 4, he could be 5. Josh Allen's that 1 to 4 guy. I would never rank, even if he showed flashes of his old self. I would never rank him ahead of Josh Allen. But that's an irrelevant question because you're asking me to pretend to feel a different way about where he's at currently.
No, I'm not asking you to pretend. I'm asking you to say you take it. What is Josh? I mean, it's Josh Allen, who's in his prime right now, and Deshaun Watson, who was in his prime. If you compared both of them in their prime, who's the better quarterback?
I get it, but that's a different game that you're playing. Like, he is not that quarterback.
Okay.
If you wanted me to hypothetically say, could he be at the Fields and T-Law tier? The answer is yes. But that's a whole different world. There's no reason for us to believe Watson's back to that form. He's got to earn all of that in our eyes. We cannot hand him a single bit.
Earn it back. I agree that he's got to earn it back. But if he does that put him in the top category? And it's a possibility that it could. You know me, I'm not a Cleveland fan at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're a very anti-Watson person, but
I'm
not in agreement here. I think 82% of people have spoken. There are going to be a certain amount of people that are rooting for Deshaun Watson for a lot of different reasons. There are going to be a lot of Watson owners. A lot of Watson owners, a lot of Browns fans. We're always going to have a 5 to 10% vote on something ridiculous like that. So I think Fire Marshal Jake believes that, that 15 votes he got on the YouTube Live is a significant, amount of people that believe that. I'm shocked by it. I am shocked by it. But I also posed the question, could he be, not will he be? So I really feel like if I posed it, who's going to finish higher this year, Josh Allen or Watson, you get a 5% vote at that point. So like I gave
one way we find out.
Yeah, well, we're not going to go there again, bro. No one cares. George Pickens outlook, Smitty, hung like Hernandez wants to know. I think he's got that ability to, I would say, become a top 10 wide receiver, and you're getting him in like the 6th, 7th round range, which is phenomenal. He easily could be your wide receiver 3 in a very not even overly aggressive attempt to go after wide receiver late. Like even if you just naturally let your players fall, you're not like, oh, I'm gonna go get a wide receiver later early. Just in the natural scheme of things, I find myself owning Pickens as my wide receiver 3, which is crazy because he's got that top 10 to 12 wide receiver upside. Do I like him as much as Watson? No. Could he be as good as Watson? Yes. Do I like him as much as Olave? Absolutely not. Could he be as good? Certainly within the realm of possibility. He's the bottom of that sophomore monster group of wide receivers, but being at the bottom doesn't mean he isn't as capable. It just means my assessment is that Olave is going to be. My assessment is that Watson's going to be. Garrett Wilson's going to be top 5 to 7 wide receiver material. And this is crazy. We're talking about a single wide receiver class to have this much talent. And one of them will probably fall flat. That's the nature of this stuff. But Pickens is like, he's got so much talent. His route running's phenomenal. The rapport between him and Pickett is real. When Pickett would go out of the lineup and Trubisky would come back in, that happened last year in the middle of the year or toward the end of the year. Guess who reemerged? Deontay Johnson. He reemerged a little bit again. But when Pickett's in there, guess who's doing well? Pickens. It's Pickett to Pickens. That's the answer. That's the ticket. And if you do believe, like Ron, that Pickett is going to take a big step forward, Pickens is going to be unstoppable. I love Pickens' value. And if he climbed into the Olave territory, I can't say that I would be as on board. I just want to make that clear. Like Pickens has got a lot of that risk baked in, and him being the lower end of that sophomore tier of breakouts, it's a real nice place to be. Like if you miss out on getting Watson, Pickens is a great player to grab because he's got so much more risk baked in. He's a phenomenal
There's really
value.
not that much between Olave and Pickens per se. I mean, their touchdowns weren't that off amongst each other for last year. They both, I mean, you think about it, Pickens, they're both rookies last year. Pickens had to go with Pickett, who was himself needed to grow and go through growing pains for his rookie year. At least Olave had a gunslinger who could throw the ball down the field. It didn't matter whether he was good or not. He just throw the ball down the field. So that's where Olave emerged. But, yeah, Pickens has every single bit of ability and talent that Olave has. It just has to be, okay, do they progress this year? Does Pickett take that step? I think he will. And Pickens will get a lot more volume this year than he got last year. That was the problem. Olave got more volume than
Garrett.
Pickens.
Garrett wants to know the phone number. Phone number's up at the top of the corner there. I was on a different screen. There you go, Garrett. He wants to call in. This will be good. This Olave versus Mike Thomas debate. He says I'm ducking something. I'm trying to look at his super chats. He's dropped a few super chats here. Rock out, appreciate your super chat on the IG DM. Number one, don't bet against Brady. Rock out, I missed that earlier. I wanted to put that on screen. Thank you, Rock out, for that super chat. Thank you, Steve, for the super chat. Spot on, Smitty, smart person. Bet on Brady playing in 2024. The Finns and Niners situations, the language. Hold on 1 second. I can't even read this. Okay. Brady situation. This league changes daily. 3 chips, 3 different teams. QB, he would never be matched. I think I read that already, Steve. If I didn't, I'm sorry. Thank you for those super chats. That's fire. Says change my name to Jake the Snake. Okay, I got you, Jake the Snake. I'm okay. I normally don't let people change their own nickname, but I'm gonna let you do that because I'm in a position where I don't want to say that's fire because, and I know Ron's saying the chat is smart enough, but there are people that come in that haven't watched before. It's a little bit different, and I just want to say a different name that makes more sense. So Jake the Snake, I like that. That's not bad. I'll let you choose your own name. In that case, we've got a caller on the phone. His name is Garrett. He is the man that has made a bet with me. I forget what the bet even is. If someone can remind me what the bet is. But Mike Thomas versus Olave. This guy, do I have it here? Yeah, here's the bet on the board. $99 purchase of my thefantasyfootballshow.com lifetime membership. Garrett's going to buy a $99 package, which is, he's getting value. So it's not like he's just throwing money down the drain. He buys that. If Mike Thomas outscores Olave, no injuries matter. That's all part of it. You can't back out because Mike Thomas gets hurt. He's not even healthy right now, by the way. And if not, I will comp you a $99 membership. We've already agreed upon it. Garrett, speak your mind on this nonsense of Mike Thomas versus Olave. Go.
You might as well spend the comp. Just send it here. That's all I gotta say.
Ooh, give us some rationale, bro. Don't just come out here and sling that. You got to have some kind of argument.
Wow. I mean, what is Olave proven? Let me know.
Number 1 in air yards in the entire National Football League when Winston was under center. Then when Winston went down, that all went away. And instead of Olave vanishing, Olave went and worked on his sideline game, his short yardage game, and became electric in those departments. Eyeball test, bro. I don't even need anything. I don't need stats or anything to prove anything about a player that I expect to be a monster. My eyeball test is all I need. Arian Foster played 2 games in Week 16 and Week 17 the year before he broke out. I saw 2 games. That's all I needed. Eyeball test. This guy's a top 5 running back. Went on NBC Sports Radio, said Arian Foster, he's like a round 7 pick the time I went on the radio show. I don't care. Eyeball test, bro. Olave's a top 5 wide receiver. Top 5. If he's top 5 and MT's top 10, Derek Carr's going to be a top 1 quarterback.
But he's not going to be top 10. That's the thing. So my thing is, I don't understand Olave. I don't understand the top 10 Olave. I really don't get it. He's second year. He's not going to make it. And third of all,
hold on. That's not an argument. You didn't say anything that was an argument. You just came in and said, I don't think he's going to be. Like, you didn't give me any substantial evidence whatsoever. Like, look at the stat line. 72 receptions, 1042. You're not giving facts, though. 72 receptions, 1042, and 4 touchdowns as a rookie. So tell me how that you can't take this, use the eyeball test.
4 touchdowns? Come on, Smitty.
Okay, hold on. Let's bring up Mike Thomas. if you want to use stats, bro. Hold on. You want to use stats, bro?
The last time he was healthy, bring up 2019.
Hey,
come on.
No, you can't. You can't play that game, bro. Can I show you something? Can I show you the depth chart? Yes. Can I show you the depth chart?
I watch almost every night, so I want to see whatever you're going to show.
I appreciate you. By the way, I appreciate you. I don't want you to think I don't like you. I think you're an awesome person. You also super chat like a monster no matter what. You got thick skin like a dinosaur. And we appreciate you here. And I'm not coming at you. I'm coming at your topic. So please know that. Who's number 1 on this depth chart? This is from NBC Sports.
Mike Thomas.
No. On this depth chart. No, on this depth chart. Chris Olave. Who's number 2? Jarvis Landry. He's injured. But Traquan Smith, Rashid Shaheed, Mike Thomas. Look how far. Nobody even considers Mike Thomas a starter right now. And he's not even healthy.
That's because field.
You what?
He can't stay on the field.
He's not even healthy.
How do you say Thomas is better than Olave when Olave's healthy and Thomas hasn't even been hardly playing in almost 4 years? This will be the 4th year. He's always injured.
Hey, Garrett. Hey, Garrett. This is the most recent report on March 28th. Okay, so not too long ago. This was the report. Michael Thomas, Saints head coach Dennis Allen said Michael Thomas' toe is not 100%. I mean, he's already hurt, or he's already still hurt, bro. He's still hurt. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Right. Garrett, again, I appreciate you. No, I want you to know that. Go ahead.
No, all good. So let's move along. We're past. We already have the bet on Mike Thomas and Olave. That's
you
fine.
Sure do.
So let's go to the last super chat. Not the last one, but like second to last one I sent. The Garrett Wilson. You think Olave's a better value and that he's going to score over Garrett Wilson? I'll do another 100 on that.
No. I think you're misunderstanding. I love Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's a moon man. Like Garrett Wilson, Olave. Hold on.
It's what you said, though.
No, I said value-wise, he is my favorite wide receiver. He's a top 5 wide receiver, and you get him in round 3. Garrett Wilson is now in round 1. So the upside and value of Garrett Wilson is diminishing before our very eyes, unfortunately. Doesn't mean Garrett Wilson can't earn it. Like, Garrett Wilson is definitely top 5 to 7 capable, but my favorite wide receiver of the 2 right now is Chris Olave. And factoring that in has a lot to do with the cost of entry. If you could wait on your wide receiver 1 and get Olave in round 3 versus spending your number 11 overall pick on Garrett Wilson, give me Olave 1,000 times out of 1,000. Doesn't mean I don't love Garrett Wilson, bro. And I'm not gonna bet against one of my moon men beating the other moon man. It's like asking which one's gonna be more likely to enter the stratosphere before the other. I don't know. They both got their helmets on. They're both in the shuttle. They're both headed to the moon. They're both on the moon, bro. So I think you misunderstood me, and if I worded it in a weird way, I apologize. But absolutely not betting against Garrett Wilson. I love Garrett Wilson. Like that. Yeah. But I hear what you're saying. You know, picking one over the other without value involved. Like I could see you getting upset over that. I don't blame you. But Olave, would it shock me, though, if Olave outscored Garrett Wilson? No, it would not shock me. Am I betting on it? No, I love both of them. But could Olave be number 4 or number 3 in the NFL? Yes, he could be, bro. This is an amazing.
No shot.
This is
no shot.
Why do you say that? Give me some evidence. Or at least
there's just no shot that he's number 3, number 4.
Give me some evidence why he can't be, though. Give me some evidence, some hardcore evidence, or give me your eyeball test assessment. Don't just say he can't do it. Like what makes you feel that way, Smitty? I saw him run routes and he's not polished, or like
because there's 4 other wide receivers that are better than him, easily, probably 10. I mean, they're just not.
I can understand.
He's not it.
I can understand 4 other wide receivers being better than him. That stance I totally accepted. He's number 5, number 7. Like, he could be number 7. Like, that wouldn't shock me. That'd still be an amazing year. Mike Thomas is the one that has 0 shot, bro. How do you even believe in him playing even remotely half a season? He's not going to play half a year. let alone be Shaheed's the number 2.
If Homeboy is healthy for the whole year, it's wraps. There's nothing to say. Like, he's wide receiver 1 in NOLA.
No. Bro, do we have another Saints fan that can call in and just give this guy a little dose of reality? I love Garrett, but I'm getting nowhere with him. Let's move over to that. Hey, Jake the Snake, a.k.a. That's Fire. Jake the Snake, can you talk to your friend here? And I don't know. Let's hear sometimes an irrational Jake the Snake rationalize with Garrett. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Garrett, you're profoundly lost on this one. We're talking about a top 10 lock. Top 10. We're probably talking about a top 5 receiver in Chris Olave. And Mike Thomas would be lucky to sniff top 40, to be honest with
top
you.
40. He just called your boy top 40, bro. Your boy can't even crack the top 40 chart.
Yeah, this is the problem, though, is it's delusional to say Mike Thomas is going to even sniff what Chris Olave is becoming. Chris Olave is getting Derek Carr, and yeah, Michael Thomas is going to get Derek Carr for whatever 3 games he plays this year. And Derek Carr is going to be dropping 70-yard bombs to Chris Olave all year. What is he, a 23, 24-year-old Chris Olave? We're talking about a young guy who's really fresh out of the gate.
Hey, Garrett, can you just be honest with me? Like, do you own like a lot of Michael Thomas Dynasty shares, and are you just holding out hope? Like, you can't really believe this. You can't really believe this.
No, I believe. I swear, I believe.
Well, Garrett, if you do this and you're wrong, that $99 the Fantasy Football Show content membership's going to do you wonders, bro. You're going to come back stronger, bigger.
I probably need that anyway, Smitty. Like, I probably need that anyway. But the thing is,
I appreciate that.
If I'm right, then
Garrett, if you're right, I'll add something to this just so you have a little bit more, skin in the game here. If you're right, I'll put Garrett was right in the title of my YouTube video.
Yes, I love it.
The chances of you winning this bet, Garrett, I have better chances of my prediction that JJ's going to get 2,400 yards receiver than you do winning this bet.
He does, Ron. Ron's got a better shot at it, bro. Bro, the crazy part is Mike Thomas.
The chances of Pickett actually being good.
Garrett, Mike Thomas to be a starter is going to be an uphill battle, bro. It's going to be an uphill battle for him to even claim the wide receiver 3 spot. And if he does, for him to stay healthy is another uphill battle. Number 3, for him to be the same form, that's another uphill battle. Like, the one thing you got to learn from my content, bro, is when there's multiple red flags like that, you have to walk away at a certain point. You have 3 or 4 things going against you, and let's say somehow, some way you're right, and we're all just like doubting Michael Thomas because he can't stay on the field, the best abilities availability, and we're all kind of assuming he's going to get hurt. And let's say he gets hurt, and we'll never know. Maybe he had the ability still left in the tank, and we just never saw it. The fact that you have so many red flags going against you, you're gonna at the end of this, you're gonna say it would have worked out if it just did this or this happened or that happened or he got a shot. The coaches messed it up. You have so many red flags against it. It's almost impossible for you to win this, even if you're right about his talent, which I don't think you are. But if you are right, you're not going to end up seeing this through. There's too many things going against you, bro. You gotta stand down.
Then you got to look at the quarterback, Carr. Carr loves his tight ends. And then you got Olave. He's going to be feeding the ball to Olave and Shaheed. Thomas is an afterthought. Thomas, if he gets on the field, how much do you think Carr's going to throw to him? Probably
He's also 30.
And
He's also 30.
You got Williams. You got Kamara and Williams there in the backfield. The ball can only go so many places. And Juwan Johnson is awesome down the field.
And Hill, he's that gadget guy who can just any week just go off.
Garrett, I'm not gonna keep piling on the bets, but I'm just telling you, like, there's a strong shot Taysom Hill outscores him. There's a real strong shot that Shaheed outscores him. I just hate to break it to you. I know it's gonna be hard for you.
You're not gonna keep piling on the bets, but like if you want to bet on that, that's completely fine.
See, that's what I knew. I know he wants to bet on everything. Did you hear the words that came out of my mouth? Did you hear the words that came out of my mouth? I already got the best bet known to man. I don't need to bet again with you.
I did. You got your good odds bet.
The words that came out of my mouth, Garrett. The words that came out of my mouth is I wouldn't be shocked if Taysom Hill outscored him.
Oh my, that's disrespectful.
It's facts,
Gary,
bro.
You're talking about a guy who's going to be struggling in July to make the roster.
Hold on, let's go around the horn. Jake, the Snake, one word answer. Is it possible that Taysom Hill outscores Michael Thomas?
Yes.
Matt, Biaggia, is it possible that Taysom Hill outscores Michael Thomas?
Absolutely.
Ron Navy, is it possible Taysom Hill outscores Michael Thomas?
100% to the moon.
Steven.
This is the most biased thing I've ever heard.
Steven, is it possible Taysom Hill outscores Michael Thomas?
Yes.
Wild Bill, final caller on the hold right here. Wild Bill, could Taysom Hill outscore Michael Thomas?
Yes, sir.
That is a unanimous vote. I'm sorry, Garrett. You've been overruled on the thing you think is the most funny thing you've ever heard in your life. And you're not living in Biasville, bro. You could also look at the chat. Hod says MT6 on the depth chart.
Thing that you said all those bettors.
You what?
I said this is going to be like that Joe Burrow take that you said to all those bettors.
You think you're going to be the Joe Burrow on that side, though, this time?
Oh, 100%.
Well, that's fire. Or that's fire. I'm sorry, Jake. I keep doing that. Garrett. I'm so sorry, bro. Garrett, I just want to say I appreciate you. And the fact that you still give to the channel, the fact that you still love the channel, even though we're going really hardcore at you on this topic, not at you, not at your personality. You're a nice dude, and I'm really glad and feel blessed to have you be a part of the community, to be honest. I want you to know that, and as we conclude this whole Michael Thomas situation, appreciate you, appreciate your support. I feel like you'll come back around on this and say, sorry, you're right. He couldn't stay healthy, but he would have if he stayed healthy. You're going to probably say something like that. It's fine. But Garrett, give me some other bold take. Let's switch topics. Give me something else bold that maybe we agree on. And Bella, thank you for that. Bella, check yourself, says Michael Thomas might not even be top 40 overall, says Bella, check yourself. But give me some sort.
He's got a one-year contract, $10 million, between $10 and $15 million this year, incentive-laden contract. So they're going to pay him that. There's no way they would cut him, would they?
I don't think Mike Thomas gets cut, but there's also injury like he can't get cut if he's injured and all that. I don't know. You have to look at his contract.
And he's only on a one-year deal, so if he's going to do anything, he's got to do it this
year.
year.
He's but if Michael Thomas, let's say, like in fairness, when he got back on the field, he started to kind of produce again, but then he got injured again. So like even if let's say Garrett's right and Michael Thomas still has it, and we're all wrong. We're all just so biasly against him because he fails us over and over and over and over. He won't stay healthy. He won't, like, even if Garrett's right, Garrett's going to lose the bet because he won't stay healthy, and that's unfortunate for Garrett, but that's part of the component here. But I want to move on. Garrett, give me some other bold take that I don't agree with. Give me something else, bro.
Trevor Lawrence is a top 3 QB.
See, that's something that even I know I disagree in my rankings and I can't put him that high, I can get behind. I can say to you, you know what? That's bold and I like it. I don't have him that high, but that's bold and I like it, bro. Absolutely doable. Young up-and-coming stallion, the law dog, the sheriff. This guy's going to have, I believe, at least 2 games where he has 4 touchdowns. It may be like those back-to-back, like Ben Roethlisberger type performances where it's like 4 touchdown, back-to-back games. This guy's the law dog for a reason. And he's got more talent than he had last year. And he took a big step forward last year. He was down and out, done, toast. The hype behind T. Law from a fantasy perspective would have been tanked had he not come back in that amazing performance where he just turned, I think, the minds around of anybody that doubted him. And even though they lost at the end of the day, that was such a phenomenal, like, growing moment for him. I wonder where everybody be ranking him had he not had that comeback performance, though, because he looked like trash in the beginning of the game. And if he finished on that note, can you imagine what people would be saying about him? I wonder about that every day. What would everybody say about T-Law had he finished trash like he started that game and came back? Like, I mean, come on.
Don't forget the tough game they gave KC after that.
Yeah, it was still, but T-Law took major strides, and like I just wonder what would happen if he didn't do that, if he didn't come back in that game. What would have happened if he didn't walk into IHOP that next day and everybody go, T-Law, law dog! That guy, absolutely amazing. Hold on, we might have a special guest coming in. Hold on.
After that horrible coach that he had his first year, last year was really like his rookie year. He finally got an adult coach that could actually coach him.
Hey Ron, I got a special guest here. Can you say the favorite quarterback of the show real quick?
Favorite quarterback of the show?
We got a little Smitty here.
Oh God.
She just needs to hear it.
Kirk Cousins.
Joe Burrow.
Can you say Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Yeah. One more time, Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
All right, go to bed. Thank you.
Joe Burrow.
All right. I got to wrap things up here. Let's go around the horn real quick. Garrett, appreciate you. Can I hear any final thoughts from Garrett?
Final thoughts. It's Big Duval, at least a second-round playoff berth this year, and I love the show.
Garrett, the show loves you back regardless of disagreements. Everybody give Garrett a round of applause, a thumb up, a fire emoji in the chat so he feels loved and appreciated regardless of getting beat up in this call. Garrett, we appreciate you, pal.
Sounds good.
Later. Matt Biaggia, final thoughts.
I hope that's fire, a.k.a. or also Jake the Snake, is 100% right on Watson. I hope he is because I'm a diehard Browns fan.
Okay. Good take. All right, later, Matt. Wild Bill, we haven't given you much time to talk at all, so you got a little bit more time. Let's call it like a minute or two. What do you want to talk about? What do you have to say?
Well, first of all, Olave to the moon.
Straight up.
Because I fell victim to Olave last year. I mean, I had like Deebo Samuel, I had Deontay Johnson and Drake London on in the early stuff, and the people against me had Olave. Guess what? I got creamed.
Yeah, Olave is an absolute monster in the making. If I had to
believe me, if I had a chance to get him, oh yeah, I'm getting him.
So I'm thinking about creating we've talked about the Milky Way galaxy, man, for a while. We're creating some other potential, amazing space type situations like that. And I'm going to potentially have Olave in this spot where it's like he has the best value at it. Like I'm going to take the Moon Men, for example. So let me show the Moon Men.
The Moon Men dropping loads in outer space.
So we've got guys like, London, Garrett Wilson, Bijan, Olave, Gibbs. We have some guys that are on the Moon Men for a reason, but some of them have more upside and appeal than others. Example, London in round 5 / top of round 6 has unbelievable cost of entry that maybe like Garrett Wilson doesn't have anymore. Walker in late round 2 is unbelievable value. Bijan we love, but Bijan, if he, let's say, creeps back into number 8 overall, Walker's value is different. So we're gonna attack these guys in a different way, and in terms of like breaking down the Milky Way galaxy, men. And Olave's just got that potential from the third round to just win a league more than I think many other wide receivers have. Watson from round 4 to 5, London from 6, Pickens in 6, 7. Like, so we're gonna break this down a little differently, but absolutely love Olave in a way that it's hard to even like explain. And I'm gonna start explaining.
I do too.
I'm gonna start explaining it. Olave's got that win a league potential that so many other wide receivers don't, and he's quickly becoming my favorite wide receiver to own across the board. Him and Watson, I love owning both those guys. Going running back, or going, let's say, running back, quarterback, and then going Olave, Watson, London is becoming one of my favorite strategies, especially in best ball. Hernandez says I missed his super chat. Hold on, Wild Bill, if you want to add anything else. Let me go over to Steven after I check Hernandez's super chat. He says I keep missing it. I'm so sorry, bro. Bella, check yourself. Appreciate that super chat. Ron Navy dropping a super chat. Smitty mixing the pot. What was that comment for, Ron?
Oh, when you had that Spire and Garrett going at each other. You were
Yeah, I was trying. Wild Bill says, Wild Bill gave you the Jake the Snake first. So Wild Bill named you.
Yes, I did.
You named him. Nice. Thank you for that super chat. That's Fire says change my phone name to Jake the Snake, which we did. Thank you, Wild Bill, for the idea. Hernandez says Pickens at 2.01 for A.J. Brown. Oh, I'm sorry, hung like Hernandez. I'm sorry, bro. If you want to call in, too, I'll give you some extra attention on this question if you want. But Pickens and 2.1 rookie draft selection for A.J. Brown Dynasty. I worry about A.J. Brown's knees a lot. I do. But it's hard for me to overlook A.J. Brown's ability. He's still, got a handful of years left for sure. His situation's phenomenal. I'm not saying Pickett to Pickens won't be amazing, Ron. But I do feel like Hurts to A.J. Brown is an amazing combination. At the end of the day, I'm taking that. I don't think I'm crazy because A.J. Brown's going in round 1 in a lot of drafts. So it's not like I'm going against the grain on this anyway. But, I could understand if somebody said, give me Pickens. I just love where his career is going to go. But I think that you need, if you can get this trade pulled. You what?
It's two different values. Of course, at the top of the draft, you're going to take A.J. Brown. But you can get Pickens down in the sixth, seventh round. It's two different values. So, there's no problem with that at all.
So what I would even say here is that if you're giving up Pickens and 2.1 for A.J. Brown, you do that immediately, and then you could even turn A.J. Brown into Olave. You could turn A.J. Brown into, you could maybe do something like that. So, I wouldn't necessarily stop on A.J. Brown because his knees do kind of concern me, but this value is crazy to pass up. And if you're trading A.J. Brown away, you need to get a whole bunch more than this because of what Ron just said. It's the values are there. The values are the values. No matter how much you love Pickens, you can't just take a guy because you love him. You got to get your fair market value. So it's a good question, Hernandez. Appreciate you asking it. Steve from Massachusetts, you're up. I'll give you a minute or two. You haven't talked much.
Hey, what's going on, Smitty?
What's up, pal?
That was because when I called, everybody was already talking. But with this Tom Brady stuff, because you've been playing best ball, is he somebody that you're in the best ball league that you're drafting towards the end of your draft or something, or you're not even thinking?
Did you see me on one of my last Superflex drafts? I didn't botch quarterback. I just got a bad draft slot for it, and I took Tom Brady at the end, and I was like, I'm taking Tom Brady. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with it, but it's a great best ball Superflex move, and I did it when it closed out. So people will probably do it now if they get the opportunity to, and a lot of other people are going to do it. So therefore, it's not going to be like one of those original. No one really else is doing it, so it's going to be a little less rare. It's going to be not as rare. But if you did it before they closed out, you have a huge advantage if he comes back at your Superflex position. Sure. But he also may come back at the end of the year, though. It may not help you for too long, but it could be a difference maker. But like going forward in Superflex, like if they open up another Superflex here soon that's either a $5 or if they just open up a 1 QB, you won't want to do that with a 1 QB. But definitely entertain it again. Or if you've got a couple of slow draft Superflexes still going or something like that, or you jump in one of those private ones. We're gonna do a bunch of small ones for the jersey. They'll probably do a Trevor Lawrence autograph jersey contest, and we'll do these private drafts all off season, and whoever wins that gets the highest point scored at week 17's end will win the jersey. So it'd be good in that situation.
Oh, okay. Because I know that because it's like, especially like this would be something definitely more for either like a real life move or like definitely like a best ball. The stuff that they're talking about, I don't really see it as like a fantasy like a single like redraft league. Unless he comes back like maybe like mid-season or something, and you need like probably like a bye week for him. But the way that sounds, that's what I'm getting out of it. That more be like a real life and like best ball type of move.
Yeah, best ball only for now. Even in a super flex 1 QB, I'm not saying I wouldn't take him in the last round if it was a very deep roster, but it's hard to hold on to a guy for through November because I'm not saying he's coming back early. I'm saying he will answer the call in October or November, when he could just walk in and win a Super Bowl. So you can't really hold on to him for that. Best ball is great, though. Belichick yourself. Yeah, I'll add a couple more rounds. We don't go too far on the mock drafts because, the ADP data is so jacked up. The further you get down, the more jacked up it gets. But we'll maybe add a couple rounds to one of them. Thank you.
I was just going to ask you if because I know I have to watch the video earlier because I know that in the thumbnail, I'm sure you're already talking about Javonte. That was probably in the beginning, but it seems like they want it. They said if it becomes available that they might draft like a running back. If they do end up drafting a running back, is that somebody that you want to, or because it seems like they don't know when Javonte is going to come back. So if they draft like one of the, I don't really know how many draft picks that they have if they can like trade back in or anything like that. But if they like take like one of these rookies, are you just gonna just take like one of the rookies instead, or are you gonna try to get both guys? I guess how would you?
Just depends. Just depends, man. If let's say Sean Tucker goes to the Broncos, I think people will be scared off on Sean Tucker because Javonte's there. I think people will be scared off on Javonte because Tucker's there. So maybe you can, cuff the two together. P. Ryan is also in the mix. Or if they don't draft a running back at all, then P. Ryan and Javonte. Just depends on the value, how you can scoop them up. Are you taking all of these assets in like round 9 on? If so, it's great. If you have to take one of them in 7, then no, it's not, that good of an opportunity. I like Sean Tucker enough that I feel like there would be some place I would gamble on him, even if his ADP rose really high. I would want to gamble on him at least in one league because I do really believe in his talent. And if he grabbed a hold of the job, maybe he never lets it go. Maybe Javonte's never going to be the same. I really hope Javonte comes back for week 1. I hope all the reports that we have right here are just kind of like speculative, pessimistic, and they don't really hold water. And Javonte's ready for week 3. Keep in mind that Walker didn't come into the mix until, later on in the season, and he was still absolute fire and won people leagues. Dameon Pierce started off really slow. It's not the end of the world if Javonte has to come in full go in week 4 or 5, but he's got to at least have an open path to it. And I'm just afraid that if he's not ready for week 1, as you're mentioning and alluding to, they bring in other players that make it a very cloudy road back even when he's ready, and that's what we got to look out for.
Yeah, because the way that it is, cause I know that you've been promoting like a lot of these rookies, and I just feel like if what they're saying is true and that he isn't ready, and they draft like one of these guys, especially like because last year I know a lot of people, including myself, like we all drafted Javonte because we thought that this guy was like a moon man and like he was really going to take off. But if they draft like one of these other guys, I feel like it's definitely going to be like a murky situation because you don't know you don't know like what they're going to do because it's just Sean Payton. I know sometimes he does do deploy like a 2 running back system. Like he'll have like a pass catcher or like a running back. So he's done that in the past, like with the Saints. I have remember he did that with Mark Ingram, like Pierre Thomas, and like Reggie Bush and like those types of guys that he's had. But I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll find out during the draft. But I mean, it's definitely interesting to take a look at it.
Yep. Everybody give another thumbs up for Garrett in the chat. I like this space, Ricky. Give Garrett a fire emoji. Give Jake the Snake a fire emoji. We go at them a little bit with some of the topics, and I want Garrett and Jake the Snake, a.k.a. That's Fire, to understand that we appreciate them regardless of the differing opinions. And they're stand-up guys to come in here and actually dial in and argue with a majority of people that disagree with them. So kudos to their boldness for doing that. Appreciate you, Steven. I'm going to let you go. Call in tonight. We'll be mock drafting tonight. If anybody wants to be a part of the mock drafts, but also the best ball draft on Underdog, we'll have to create a private draft. We'll be doing the Garrett Wilson jersey draft, I think. Unless they only have a Superflex going. I'll have to check it out. But this is the link here. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 on your first deposit. Just click this link that's in the live chat. And we will be drafting tonight. So get ready.
Hey, Smitty, before you let me go, that deposit thing that you're talking about, is that for the mock draft, or are you doing the mock drafts on Sleeper and the link that you're talking about? That's for
maybe we'll do it on.
regular.
Yeah, the mock drafts are free. The best ball drafts are on Underdog Fantasy using the promo code Smitty, using the link that I just dropped in the live chat. I'll drop it again. It's in every description of every video. There's the link one more time. You want to be signed up ahead of time to do the best ball drafts. There's no way you're going to get in if you've got to actually go through the very quick sign up process, but they fill up very fast. So just do that ahead of time. It's a $10 minimum. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. And we'll create a private draft tonight, and go through. We have a super flex contest all off season and a non-super flex contest. These aren't included in the big prize money best ball drafts, though. This is going to be who's the highest scoring person out of our private draft group. Whenever we drop a link, I keep track of that link, and it gets added to the pool of links. And whoever scores the most by week 17 is going to win the autographed Garrett Wilson jersey, if we're talking about the 1QB drafts or the private drafts that are best ball. Whoever wins that is going to get the autographed T-Law jersey, whatever. I still got to get the jersey, but I think it's going to be T-Law. I think I'm going to look for a T-Law autographed jersey. I think that'd be fun.
Is best ball still doing those drafts though, Smitty?
Not on Underdog for but if we go into, let me see, private drafts, $5. Let me see here. 12. Let me just take a look at it.
This is down today, and there's just nothing.
Okay, so it's back to 1QB. Yeah. So tonight will be the Garrett Wilson. Yeah, but I can create a private. It's gonna be a private draft. I'm gonna create a private draft. I'm gonna have a link. Yeah,
I got you.
And the prize money, because it's a $5 entry, the prize money is going to be first place gets $32. I don't control that. If we create a private draft on there in the confines of the $5 system, it'll be a $32 first place. Right. But all of those private links, whenever I announce this is a Garrett Wilson draft, that the winner out of all those that scores the most points, their team through week 17 is going to get the Garrett Wilson autographed jersey. So get ready for that tonight.
Nice.
But it looks like it's back to 1QB, awesome. Which is kind of nice. I feel a little super flexed out.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Seriously, dude, I'm telling you, right? Yeah,
Wild Bill. Wild Bill acting wild again. Appreciate you, Wild Bill.
Absolutely, brother.
See you tonight. We'll see you tonight.
Yeah, see you tonight, man. I'll definitely call in, especially if I see it, if any Adam Schefter or any of those guys drop any news or anything. See you, man.
Attaboy. Later. Ron, final thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to say, I like Garrett. Garrett reminds me of a
young Ron Navy,
laid back guy sitting on his back patio, smoking some peyote, having visions of Michael Thomas in his heyday.
Yeah, I do. You know, he's definitely like a Garrett Wilson. Garrett's definitely a Mike Thomas truther. It's blind love.
Yeah.
Love is blind. All right, Ron. I'll
really
see.
chill. He's like chill. So that's all I got.
Yeah, I'll see you tonight.
All right, later.
Later. All right, guys, that's all for today, or for tonight. Tonight's 7 p.m. show. We'll be back tonight, live mock drafting again. Underdog Fantasy, link is in the description. I'm going to drop the link one more time in the live chat. You'll want to click this link and sign up ahead of time so you can get into the private drafts. Actually, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to create the link right now, and I'm going to drop it. This is a $5. This is for the Garrett Wilson draft tonight. Let me drop the link. I'm going to send it to, I'll send it to you, Ron. Here's the link. Let me send it right now. I'm going to make this, let's fill it up right now. And then everybody will be prepared. Oh, actually, you know what? I can't because once it fills, it starts. So we'll have to wait. I'll send it to a couple of you privately. Ron, I'll send you it. And then that way you can get in it. And then we'll because if it fills, it starts. It's not a slow draft. So I'll fill it to the point where we have like 3 or 4 of you in there, but then we'll drop the link in the live chat. So definitely sign up early. Here's the link. Sign up early. Get going on that so you don't miss. Oh, there it is. Actually, shoot. That's the link. This might actually start. Yeah, I pasted it. There's the link. If this starts, it's going to fill and draft right now. So we'll do another one tonight. But this will be included. This is a $5 draft. Anybody that wants to do it right now, I'm not doing it on the live show, but we'll do it right now. That means while I'm eating, I got to now draft. Way to go, Smitty. Way to go. Way to paste the wrong link. This was the private draft for tonight. Just know if you join that, it's going to start immediately once it fills. I'll see you all tonight. Tom Brady, will he come back? Go rewatch the show. Javonte, we're worried about week 1. You should be worried about week 1. We'll see you all tonight. Peace out. There, I removed the comment. I don't think you guys can see it anymore, so maybe it won't fill up. But that was the link to get in. So you missed your opportunity to grab a spot early. But we should be able to keep that link fresh, and I'll send it to you, Ron. I'll see you all tonight. Peace out.
Four horsemen, Jamar Chase, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Joe Burrow, all from the 1.1 draft slot. The four horsemen ride 4 horses all at one time. Giddy up.